If we reduce the number of employees for better short-term financial results, employee morale will decrease. I sincerely doubt employees who fear that they will be laid off will be able to develop software titles that could impress people around the world. Satoru Iwata.
What's up, everyone? This is Arnaldo, aka Mad Dog, and this is The Real, episode 148 of GG's The Mouthful Podcast.
GG! Woo! It's Friday! Yes, we made it to another week, bro.
We sure did.
Nice.
We're just 4 days short, guys. We're just 4 days. Yeah.
No, it is Friday.
Happy Monday,
Shut
guys.
up. You're destroying the illusion. It is Friday. You are coming live from Las Vegas.
Las Vegas.
You can hear all the machines on the background. I can hear them as I am going to be putting them.
I'm sure you're going to put it in the background.
How is Las Vegas, sir?
It's apparently it's mad freaking cold.
It is mad freaking cold.
I'm realizing that I am completely, woefully unprepared to go to. I'm literally leaving. So just aside,
you're there already.
So I'm here in Las Vegas and realize I need a coat because it's 32 degrees at night and 50 during the day.
Oh my God!
I'm like, what the hell?
You were prepared for this?
It actually snowed. It's the desert. So what the hell? I was like, I'll be fine. And
so you can dress like if you were in Hawaii? I mean, I can see you through FaceTime.
You could, but I mean, well, that's because I have a green screen behind me. That's why it's like Hawaii. It's not really Hawaii, though.
Oh,
it's just a green screen.
Aloha.
Mahalo. So, yeah, I'm just woefully unprepared for this. I don't know what I'm going to do. I have to get a coat. Going back to the fact I'm still not there.
That's right.
I have to get like a coat, maybe buy a coat. I think we have, we're New Yorkers, so we brought shit down with us when we first came down. But I think little by little we got rid of stuff, and now I'm like, damn it.
So you don't have your Gore-Tex bubble jacket anymore?
No more of that. I don't have that anymore.
Oh, so, come on, man. That was Gore-Tex.
I got to figure something out.
Oh.
I got a scarf. We'll see if that helps.
There you go. Exactly. Hey, you're a tourist.
Thin ass little jacket with one scarf. That's what I. Oh my God.
There you go.
I'll be dead out in the desert, frozen.
No,
it's gonna happen. I can see it happen.
You're gonna be hitting the slots.
For the record, if I don't come back, I love you all. That voice, of course, is excuse me, Mr. David Santos, aka Dream Twister. What is up, sir?
Whatever. I'm not even in Vegas. I'm still here. You know what? We fool you. Haha. In case you didn't notice. This is a Monday.
It is
because Mr. Twister's sister over here is going to Vegas and he's going to be having some fun. I can day a single day off to not even go to freaking Tallahassee or something. I don't know.
Tallahassee, really? No one who wants to go to Tallahassee. People in Tallahassee don't want to be in Tallahassee.
Hey, I bet it's a lot warmer right now.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. That definitely a lot warmer.
I was going to say Gainesville or something.
Gainesville is actually, I don't know who goes to Gainesville.
Kissimmee.
Bunch of Florida cities. No one cares about. That's what it is. Yeah.
That's fine. It is. I'm having my vacation coming in May.
Oh, there you go.
That's the one. My
Where are you going?
Well, my wife graduates.
Oh.
She gets her master's degree, and I want to do something special, and then I couldn't. So we just booked a cruise.
Just doing good. He's like, I couldn't do something special, so instead we did.
I wanted to do something crazy and all, and all out. But then I realized we kind of have that for next year. Hopefully, we have.
Yes. Japan 2020,
guys.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Japan 2020.
It is going to be fun to do a podcast from there.
Oh, it will.
Because it is happening.
Yes.
It is happening.
I don't know how we will upload it, but it is happening.
Don't you worry, child. We'll figure something out.
We'll figure out the price of whatever internet services they have out there. We'll figure that shit out.
So this time, we just took like a short 3-day cruise. To save some money, and it's going to Mexico, which we have been already. So we're just probably going to be soaking up the sun, and
there you go.
Probably knock it out. Yeah.
No sun for me, my friend. Snow,
sun.
evidently, is what's in my future. Snow.
Winter
It's actually
is coming.
going to be snowing on Thursday when I get there. By the way,
shoot.
you guys are most likely hearing this on Saturday, and actually will already be there freezing my ass off
Yes.
by the time you guys hear this.
Yes.
Because it is Monday, what is it, the 18th right now. But this will, of course, air on that Saturday.
On that
whatever the
Saturday.
is.
I mean, I don't
I
know.
can't do math
I
now.
might forget to put it in because we have to put it out.
Third, please don't forget.
Because I'd be like, oh shit.
Otherwise,
we
you'll
didn't
be hearing
record on
this
Saturday.
right next to 149, episode 149.
Exactly. When he comes back and say, "Hey, where's the no?" Because you're probably gonna be texting like, "Hey, where's the podcast?"
Yes, sure.
It's Sunday afternoon
I
already.
know. I said, where is it at?
I'd be like, "Shit, I'm in another time zone, so it just hasn't reached you
Yeah,
yet."
hasn't got there yet.
Please bear
There's
with
a little
us.
delay. You're 3 hours behind.
What the hell is that? Is it raining outside or is it?
I don't know. It looks like snow.
It looks like snow, right?
You think so? Yeah, it could be snowing.
Is it? Is it
I don't
snowing
know.
here?
Is it either
Because
that?
it's fucking hot in here.
It is mad freaking hot. I don't know how
Yeah.
it can be possible.
My
snow.
AC broke finally.
Did it seriously?
No,
That's what's happening?
What did
Oh.
you expect this was?
I don't know.
Do
I
you
just thought you liked it hot.
No, why would I ever? Especially if I have guests, I'm not gonna have this so
Sir,
hot. It's like it's like 79 degrees right now,
which
and
is
this room
nothing compared to when my AC broke.
No, true.
In the middle of August.
Yours was in the middle of summer.
yeah. August, yeah.
It was terrible.
Yeah,
I mean,
really
it was a great experience, but it was terrible.
It was terrible.
Because we had
I know
to
it's
pause.
terrible, yes. I had to sleep in that shit. That's not fun at all.
Oh no.
Thanks so much again for tuning in, guys. Please, if you are listening to just any of the podcast services or YouTube, like, subscribe, and share the podcast with everyone. Also, go over to goodgame.tech and join the conversation there. We got a nice little post up right now regarding the possibility of Destiny being actually being the secret behind Anthem.
I like that. I like you did that. You created that. That was
pretty cool. Yeah,
That was a good
liked it.
meme. A good meme.
I hope everybody likes that. What we normally do, this is going to be a little bit of a truncated show since it's literally 2 days after the,
After the last one.
yeah.
Exactly.
What we would normally do is go into what we've been up to, work into some news items, and then finally finish with our hot topic of the week. This week's hot topic, it is the Alita Battle Angel.
Yes.
Full review, and it's going to be non-spoiler and then spoiler.
Yeah.
So it's going to be 100%
We're gonna have two flavors. So
Yes.
you're gonna have side A. It's gonna be the non-spoiler. Then you turn the podcast side B.
Side B, yeah.
And it's gonna be full-on nudity.
Unless you have one of those automatic
frontal
cassette
nudity.
changes.
Spoiler cast.
The what?
Full frontal nudity. Yeah.
Full frontal nudity.
Yes.
Oh my god.
And with that image, we start with
Let's go into what we've been up
what
to.
have you been up to, sir?
Oh, I'm starting.
You want me to start?
You, by all
I can-
means.
I
yes.
can- I can
you
take
have you have the hot flavor that just recently came out. I'm curious to hear your thoughts because I already mentioned my thoughts from before.
I do have the hot flavor that recently come out. So Apex Legends. No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to talk about that because I haven't played it in a bit. I need to go back to it. Guys, I am talking, of course, about Anthem. Anthem has not been released to a lot of you just yet.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, there are a few people that are playing it, especially if you are part of the subscription service on console for EA, whatever is it that it's called.
EA Origins.
There you go. EA Origins,
yeah.
that's what it's called. Because on
Which
PC
is only on
Premiere.
It's only on Xbox though. It's not on PlayStation. So
True. So if you're on Xbox, that you're playing the first 10 hours and then it cuts you off like that makes no sense. That was so dumb.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah,
I
it
thought they
cuts-
just get their game early.
Nope. No, they only
the
pay
hell?
10
That makes no
hours.
sense.
I know. I tell you that probably the reason they don't do that shit on PC is because they haven't figured out a proper way to implement it, or they know that people are gonna crack the shit out of that.
Yeah.
So on PC,
Does it carry your progress over though, or do
Yes.
you have to start over? Okay.
No, you it's the
same.
same thing. Same thing. I did that for I want to say Dragon Age Inquisition. I was looking for that game for the longest time. That game, I like that game actually.
Inquisition, I remember
I played
you
it.
liked it,
I played it 5 days earlier because I did that. I did the Origins on Xbox, and yeah, it was cool. I played for 10 hours, and then I felt like I had a withdrawal, and I was like, I need to be playing more, and I
10
can't.
hours. That makes no sense,
It's
man.
stupid. It's stupid.
That's dumb.
But
Good job, EA.
That's well. You needed a chart to see the different to see when were you gonna play.
I
the
saw the
game.
chart, but for whatever reason, I missed the 10-hour thing. I really just thought it was gonna come available to the. That's just dumb, bro. There's no reason for that.
I don't know.
So I know you're gonna get into your thing, but I'm just curious. If what is the benefit? I mean, I get the benefit of doing it on PC. I assume you don't have the 10-hour thing on PC, right?
No.
So I mean, you just get the game early.
Yeah.
So
there have people that have beaten already the game.
Are they pushing for people to buy it on PC? What's the point of doing this early?
I don't think there is. I don't think it's pushing people to buy it on PC. To subscribe to the service, because either way they're getting money from the subscription. I mean, I understand pre-orders get to play it, like pre-orders for the deluxe edition maybe get to play it a couple days early. I don't know, man. This is all dumb. This is all stupid, and we're wasting time talking. Giving the light to EA. I just wanted to point out that I did try Anthem, and I gotta be honest. First of all, I want to preface this by saying, if you have pre-ordered this game, if you are actually playing this game or looking forward to it, and you enjoyed the demo quite a bit, please do not take what I'm about to say as me signaling that your opinions are wrong or are biased or that you're stupid or whatever it is. It's not meant to be like that. Honestly, nothing would have made me happier than for this game to be great and to succeed. And it's a BioWare title, and I like BioWare's previous titles. So I'm not saying I was looking for like, oh man, I need to play this, because I kind of knew from the reveal the type of game that it was gonna be, and even when it looked cool, Destiny looked cool, and I already knew what to expect from that. Mm-hmm. And Destiny is not a bad game, but it is, it's a type of game that, at least in my case, I only play for the story, if that, because I haven't even been the Forsaken yet. And then I drop it. I'm don't try to grind on it, too much if I don't have to, because I just lose. Like it gets too repetitive, and that's the major problem. This game looks. I'm playing on PC, obviously. This game looks amazing. It looks gorgeous. It is super nice graphically. Explosions when shit's going down, the fighting, all those effects look great, because it's, of course, the Frostbite engine. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you will expect no less. So they got that down. They got that down. The problem that I have, the main problem that I have with the game is that it feels very strongly like a cut and paste job. Like they basically develop 3 different types of missions, and it's the typical Destiny type missions where here's the mission where you have to grab the thingy and put it in the thingy so that it opens up the next area where you can grab the thingy and put it in the thingy again. And and they might put that and mix it up with, okay, now you're here, activate the MacGuffin so that you can and what is activated, because machines for the future always need to warm up like a 1978 Chevy Impala, in the middle of Nevada's winter. And they need to you need to wait until the thing, whatever it is, just activates itself. And in the meantime, but now waves and of enemies are coming. Except that it's very easy to take them down. I chose that there's several. There are 4 types of classes. I understand. I'm not gonna go through them because you guys are ad nauseum. You already know what they are. I picked the Infiltrator. Looks almost like a ninja-like thing. It moves pretty fast. Yeah, it's very swift. It looks very badass. The only problem is that my melee attacks are a lot stronger than any weapons that I have. So using guns, I get
pointless.
loot.
Wow.
I get loot, and it's like it's pointless. It's meaningless. I don't need it right now. Maybe for the later levels, but I doubt it, because everything I've played so far, even the big monster, not the big bosses, but the mid bosses, let's say. Mm-hmm. I could just take them down, pressing a button and doing nothing else. Just pressing just pressing the melee button, like literally. I don't even have to look left or right or anything like that. It's just I can literally close my eyes and just press that button,
and until
the life bar goes away.
And you're not getting attacked. You're not getting hurt or anything, or just
you're getting hurt, but you're also getting with your attacks and the stuff that you're killing. I mean, you are hurting it so fast that even if you get hurt, it's not enough.
Your shield
should be able to exactly to withstand it. You might be a hit, but by the time that you get hit again, your shield's already back up. And some people might say, "Well, why are you not playing? Play it on hard mode?" And that's fine. Honestly, I haven't tried it on hard mode, but that's a concern, right? If the normal level it is so easy, then it's kind of pointless, really. Like, what am I doing here? I feel like I'm going through waves after waves of enemies. Yeah, it looks really cool when I'm moving. It looks really cool, but and when I have and the game match makes you with randos and I miss the level of communication that you will have on something like Apex or anything like that, because they don't speak. I don't talk with randos because why bother?
They just run to the next subject.
Yeah, not only that, that's going to present a problem that I'm going to mention in a moment. But yeah, usually before the exposition of the story finishes, if they already open the next section, they're already booking it to it. So you can't really get, it becomes a race of whoever gets to press the activate button first. It's almost a race of that. I did it, because I'm the main guy. You guys are just fodder for me. You're fighting next to me. I am the squad leader, and it feels kind of silly in that way. Like I said, the graphics are gorgeous. The menus of that games are fucking horrendous. They're bad.
They have not improved them since the demo?
No. Well, see,
they made it worse?
I did not. I can't compare because I played very little of the demo. Okay. All I can say like that if this is the menu system that they intend to go in, if this doesn't get patched on day one, I don't know, bro. It is so unintuitive.
Day one meaning the
patch,
overall,
the actual patch
launch,
that they will, the real launch,
not this Friday,
not this one. There, we are the ones beta. And although I gotta say, I didn't encounter that many bugs, and no disconnection. So I was kind of surprised. No, that's not true.
Considering not many people are.
There was one. Actually, there's a surprise amount. I get it.
The masses haven't come.
Yeah, no, not the masses are coming to destroy the servers. No, they haven't. Just the people that are subscribers
and early adopters.
So my problem with the menus is that they're super unintuitive. Like, to select the mission, you go into you select the option, the area of the menu for missions. That throws you into a sub menu, and you're thinking, well, the logical thing is I'm going to select the mission here, and I just have to click. Let's start. And I was looking for, what the hell? Where's the start button? Okay, do I click on the majigger that is showing me? Because it's showing me a map. So do I click on do I click on the minimap, the section? No, this changes my objective. But I don't want to do that objective. I actually want to do no objective. I just want to freestyle. I want to free play. No, it took me a good 5 to 10 minutes to figure out how the hell did I freestyle? Did I free play? And that was bad. So the menu throws you into a sub menu, and what you don't know is that you then have to get out of that menu, to go to the other one that is going to allow you to start to launch, or to launch or whatever, or change the difficulty. And another annoying thing is when you are on the field and you get weaponry, you can't change the weaponry that you have for whatever you got that is better. You have to wait until you're back in the forge.
Yes,
to be able to be able to equip it.
Was that not similar to Destiny?
No,
you were able to switch it. I don't remember. So
on Destiny, you can switch. You grab a better weapon, you put it immediately.
Okay.
And I want to say I get it, but not really. It's still a game. Come on, people. This should not be the detail that you want to focus on. Well, they're mechs, so you need to have someone install
Somebody
them.
has to install them.
Yeah. That's not. I mean, in this
you need
world,
a mechanic for that.
Yeah, come on.
You can't just jump out of your suit and put it together right on the spot.
Hey, there's a gun on the floor. my robot thingy has appendages.
He can just grab it.
He can just grab it and use it.
Makes sense.
They don't need to be modified and put it. This is not Mech Warrior. So
maybe there's some sort of Bluetooth you have to hook up to.
I need to go back and repair it.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
There you go. That makes sense. Well, there you go. There you go.
Solve the issue.
The issue. Let me tell you what the game's biggest issue again. I should take a quick pause to remind people: if you like this game, good for you. I'm genuinely happy that you get to enjoy it. Aside from these problems honestly, it had me like, no more. This is it. I don't have to play this game anymore. I'm done. Dude, the loading screens.
Oh yes,
Let me.
I remember.
Tell you,
yes, that was in the demo as well. And I was like, why are we loading? Didn't we just go from one spot to another? Yes.
Dude,
I remember that.
Now, if you don't have the technology to stream that just yet, then you shouldn't be using this engine for what you're trying to accomplish, because the loading screens on this game are horrendous. And if you don't think they're horrendous, then I salute you, because you have the patience of a saint, or you're willing to put up with a lot more. I have this game installed on an SSD. Not only an SSD, on the fastest SSD that I have on the computer, which is the one where I store my operating system as well. And that's it. And it still take me upwards of a minute. Like, I haven't really timed it, but even if it's just a minute and it doesn't sound like it's a lot, a minute is an eternity.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine
in between action. Yeah,
I cannot exactly, especially when it is to load into a menu or to load into the next section that you would just flying into. You're supposed to feel like a total badass, flying into this section of the world, and then suddenly out of nowhere you get interrupted. So let me tell you about my experience. My experience was me getting into the forge to get a loading screen to go into the menu. That loading screen is relatively fast, but it's still a loading screen. It's not seamless. To equip what I wanted to equip, to get a loading screen to get out, to go into my mech, select the missions, to get to a loading screen where it'll take me to the outside area to start the mission, or the game dropped me, disconnected me at that moment. I try to reconnect. By the way, it drops me, which means another loading screen.
Yes.
So
to get dropped. Yeah.
Exactly. So I try to reconnect, which is another loading screen, so that I finally get to start the mission. But of course, now the people I'm playing with, the randos that I'm playing with, because it matchmake me, they're already in like the other side of the world. And guess what? There's an issue in this game where it rubber bands you if you fall too far behind for some reason. You cannot go exploring your own. No, you got to be with your teammates. It rubber bands you, and guess what that is?
A loading screen.
Another fucking loading screen. Exactly.
That was also in the demo at some point where I don't know what happened. Like, I went into a loading screen, don't know why, and I was like, I thought we were going this way, and I'm like, oh, it's a loading screen. Oh. And then I'm playing with Chaos, and he's like, I'm not loading. I'm like, really? What the hell is it? And then, of course, when it comes back, I'm back where he was. Like, I get what happened here. Okay.
It rubber band you back. Yeah. So, of course, when I finally get to them, guess what?
They already finished.
They were close to. They had already finished that section of the area, so it was up to the next one, and they were already close to the end of that area. So another loading screen.
Yeah.
Dude, it was It was a hilarious experience because I saw and I read more tooltips than I believe I ever read on any other game in my entire life. It was stupid ridiculous. Then I think this game wanted to copy Destiny so much, but pretend that they didn't. So guess what? When you're playing outside, your character is going to be in third person instead of first person. But when you're in the Forge, your character is going to be in first person rather than in third person.
Yeah, I noticed that.
So it's like it's trying to be the opposite when it comes to the world. And that area, hi honey.
Hello.
That area of the forge or whatever is it? Not the forge. The forge is where you actually put your weapons. But
so whatever the
area, that place where you get your missions and stuff, whatever it's called. Who cares?
The hub.
That's called the hub. Yeah. I was gonna call it the tower. Let's call it the tower.
Okay, the tower it is.
Yeah. So you go there, dude. It is super dead. You see people walking around and doing their work, but you don't hear a peep. Like nobody's talking in this thing. It's like it's like a cemetery. You know, it's like, okay, am I missing sound effects here, or are they gonna be patched on later on?
It is EA, so who knows, right?
Because nobody's saying anything, and of course you get to the part where you interact with the with the people, and that part I did like the way they look. Obviously that engine is capable of rendering some good quality facial animation and stuff like that. So I was okay with it for the most part. Other than it always felt weird having that first person perspective just there and that person talking to your face.
Yeah, it's right up on you too,
and
right in your face. You're
which of course.
Who speaks this close to each other?
I thought BioWare was past that. Like, remember, the first few games were that, but and I'm talking like Knights of the Old Republic and maybe Mass Effect 1, but by Mass Effect 3, the conversations were a lot more cinematic. Mm-hmm. No, over here is going back to talk on your face.
Zoom into your face.
Talk on your face, say what you have to say, and then the illusion of choice that it gives you. Where the person might say, let's say you have to agree with someone because that's what the script says. You get the option of, and this is not literal. I'm just giving an example of what I mean. You have option of saying, yeah, or option of saying, It's basically it boils down to that. It doesn't matter what you say, the outcome will still remain exactly the same. Almost like, well, it's a BioWare game, and people are gonna say something if we don't put something that looks like, And it's never like, or at least so far, it hasn't been like 3 or more options. It's always like, press 1 to say this, press 2. Oh no, hold 1 to say this, or hold 2 to say this other thing. For some reason, you gotta hold the button. So every time there's a conversation, you already had an awkward silence because while you press the option and it needs to fill out like, and then this is what I decided to say. And of course, in typical BioWare fashion, sometimes it doesn't sound exactly what you meant to say, but you have to realize again, it doesn't matter because it's literally the difference between yes and So, God, it sounds like I'm really hating this game, and I don't think it's crap. I don't think it's disappointed though. I don't think it's garbage. But this is not great. If it obviously I can't score it yet. I can't give it a review. But I've seen a lot of reviews where people are like, yeah, no. Yeah, this is a wait until they actually put some content in it. People are enjoying it. They might have not gotten to the part where they realize, oh, wait a minute, this is all there is. Because it's like when Destiny 1 came out. When Destiny 1 came out, it looked amazing. And that first mission on Earth and those first few missions on Earth. And at one point, it really sinks in of, wait a minute, this is all you do. And people gave crap to Destiny. Of course, I feel like at that point, like a little bit of time passed before people started realizing that. Now we know better. The people that know already, they're already taking this and nah, man. So far, it looks like it is just this. It is that Destiny, formula, and it's a shame. It's a shame because I could have used. I was disappointed at the Division 2 demo. So I was kind of hoping that, okay, well, maybe this is the one. Maybe this is the one that they'll be okay. They'll be decent. If it's like if I feel like the game's at 7 at least, I can enjoy a 7. On my score. Let's say I'm talking about. But when the shooting is fun and battling the enemies, but that's really it. That's all you have. The story is nonsensical, like whatever. Oh, it has. I don't know how much I should say. I don't think it's spoilery in the sense that it's part of the story, but it's just like an experience that I have. Like this character, like think of it. Think of this happening to you. All right, you're at work. You're in the bathroom. All right, you're in the bathroom, but you have 4 minutes to go back because you need to clock in or whatever. You have to go back for long. You're in the bathroom. A new hire. Comes to you and say hi. He's like very energetic and like, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? How you been? How are you? And you're like, oh no, everything great, man. And of course, you're not an asshole. So the next thing that's gonna come on is like, how about you, man? How you been? And then that person goes into like, I'm doing good, but man, I don't know. I have this problem. Like I woke up this morning and I received this call and they start giving you like their life story, and you don't know this person, nor do you really care. All you were trying just to do is be polite, and you need to clock out. You need to get out, but you don't find a way to like say, okay, I don't want to talk to you. I need to go. Like you're already in it.
Yeah.
So that's almost the equivalent of a particular portion of the. Some characters are like that. Basically, these characters, you don't know them or you don't care for them, or maybe the character is supposed to know them or whatever. But because you as a player don't know them, you don't care. So they go into this exposition thing, of everything, and you're like, I just want to go.
Just let me go to the mission.
No, actually, in my case, it was like, let me just get out so I can save and leave this game. I need to go to bed, or I need to clean the house or whatever. It's more fun than this.
Something way more important.
Yeah, it's like, just let me go. And there was a character with that. I think she was asking me. She wanted me to talk about her pet or something like that. I don't remember exactly what it was, but like you have the option of saying no, and she will insist like, are you sure you don't want to hear about this pet thing? It's like, why the fuck do I care? Why? So I was irritated. I just went to like, listen, I'm busy. Like it was something like that. He goes, the exchange was like, no, not right now. I'm sorry. I'm very busy. Whatever. She goes into like, oh, okay. Well, if you need, I understand. If you guys are busy, if you need anything, and then it goes into like almost crying. So it makes you feel like an asshole for it. And of course I didn't, because he didn't, like, again.
You don't care about the characters.
Who cares about you and your stupid pet?
You got to care about the characters in order for it to mean anything. Yeah.
Say what you will about Destiny at the beginning, but at some point, and I'm not saying that they were like the epitome of storytelling, because they were totally not. But at least I care a little bit about, hey, oh shit, Kate 6 that got killed suddenly. Like, what? They're doing that? Mm-hmm. Awesome. Maybe it's too late. I mean, maybe it's too early, rather, for this game to give us that. But like right now, I just don't care about any of those characters at all. It is pointless, bro. Mm-hmm. It is pointless. That is, I'm trying to remember. No, man. That's it. That's all I've been doing.
That's all you've been doing?
Yeah. I want to say, we had a movie, of course. We're going to talk about that at the end. So, yeah.
We saw Alita.
We saw Alita.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
We saw Alita.
Yeah. More to come.
More to come on that, yes. So I haven't really done much in the couple days, but I did try out, because I already said that I had beat out Resident Evil 2. I did try out the Ghost Survivors DLC. And while I think it's good, if anybody doesn't know, when you beat the game, you unlock a mode called Fourth Survivor. And what that basically is, you play as Hunk, and you're giving essentially a loadout of weapons, ammo, and health items and all this. And you can't. There's no items to pick up. You just escaping, right? And there's I thought originally that it was a time limit because I kind of remembered the first one having like the original Resident Evil 2 having a time limit. You have to escape at a certain amount of time. Here, there's no time limit. However, it does keep your time, so you're trying to do your best time. You know what I mean? To try to get out. That said, you still got to get out, and getting out isn't an easy feat. You know what I mean? What it is, he starts in like a lower part of the sewer, and he works his way out, and he tries to get to an extraction point, which is at the front of the police station. It's actually pretty fun, but my gosh, it's stressful. It's stressful because you have a limited amount of ammo. So I'm shooting kneecaps. The moment they fall, I run right by them. You know, just like. But then, of course, they throw in the craziness, the lickers, and they're like lickers don't exactly go down easily. They have kneecaps. Good luck finding them. You know what I mean? And then, of course, the dogs, and then at some point you run into Mr. X too, and it's just like motherfucker, you know. But it's still kind of fun. When I heard that the Ghost Survivors was the DLC, when I heard they were going to do that, I thought it was going to be a little bit more story based. What these essentially are the same thing, like the Fourth Survivor, but with these characters that you come across in the main story. And so I mean, it's not really a spoiler to know there's a gun shop owner named Kato. There's the mayor's daughter, and then there's another special forces dude that basically has to get out. The difference with them is you do have a set loadout, but you will find items. But they will be in like sort of a vending machine dispenser type of thing, where you there's 3 items in there. You can only pick one. The moment you pick one, the vending machine is done, right? So you
like
can't,
a capsule machine, like one of those Japanese capsule
exactly.
machines.
You turn the little quarter in.
You put 25 cents. And
so yeah, that's what you essentially. So you have to obviously pick the right stuff so you can keep going.
Oh, you can pick. You can still choose what you want.
You only gonna. There's 3 items in each.
It's not a loot box.
There's not a loot box. Yeah, they are scattered throughout the map, and so essentially you select the thing. Once you select, that's it. Well, the other 2 are non-accessible at that point. That one's very hard. I tried 2 of them, which was Akeda, which is the again the gun shop owner, and then the mayor's daughter. Which you really have to know the story to even understand who these people are. But anyway. So it's sort of a what if. Hey, what if whatever storyline they had didn't happen, and they actually make it out? So again, I was expecting some story stuff. So I was a little bit bummed that that's what they were going with. The escape as fast as you can.
What if they get sucked into there's a big explosion, right? Which creates
going with this?
A wormhole.
I knew it.
And then it sucks the characters into this other world
called Resident Evil Survive, right?
Yes. Resident Evil Survive.
Yes.
See, you knew.
Yeah.
All right, so
we can actually write this and just call up Capcom. Say, hey, I got an idea.
I got an idea.
I got an idea for you guys. So no, I mean it's like I said, it's fun. I still enjoyed it for what it was, but I wasn't what I was expecting. But again, it is also free. It's not like they're charging for it, so that's nice. So cool too.
That's nice. So you didn't. I didn't realize that. It's free DLC.
It is free. It's completely free DLC.
That's cool.
And it's pretty cool. I mean, it's challenging in its own way as well. And also, it introduces some new enemies. Now there's this new zombie that when their eyes glow, this is on each particular survivor has a different enemy they have to worry about. The Fakeda, it's like a gas enemy. Like you shoot him and he dies and he releases this gas. And if you're too close to it, you get poisoned. Which is fucking annoying. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yes. And
I wasn't looking forward to that part of the game, actually, because suddenly I saw that I could mix these 2 herbs and it gives me an antidote. Oh, wait.
Yeah, there's a reason why you need an antidote.
Damn. I never crafted not a single one.
To be fair, I think I used, in my first run with Leon, maybe I used it once. I didn't get poisoned at all. With Claire, I did get poisoned a few times, but it's okay. It wasn't that big a deal. But this is a pain in the ass because you have these freaking zombies. There are like 3 or 4 of them. You know what I mean? Yeah, and you're like, damn it.
One of them is gonna fart. So
yeah, that's all you got. That's it. The moment you hits it, they're all going. yeah. Like, oh Jesus. I'm trying to remember what the chicks, the mayor's daughter, what her special enemy
Is
was.
this there are it's I know because I've seen it actually. Is this zombies and they have like a big red like a unicorn on
For
the
the
front,
love.
and then the way you stop
Oh
them is
my
that
God.
you build these fences on top of them, and then you hit them with a stick.
No, the
That's what it is, right?
No, the other guy, the last guy.
What game am I thinking? I don't know.
I have no Metal Gear Survive.
Of course, yeah, Metal Gear Survive. Sorry, yeah, that's right.
The last guy, the one he deals with, he's dealing with armored enemies. So they're zombies who are military guys who came back.
Military zombies.
And they're all obviously armored up. So now you have to literally shoot for the head because everything else doesn't do anything. So
Join
like,
the
son of a bitch,
zombie
yeah.
corpse.
Yes. So,
The zombie corpse.
zombie corns
Zombie corpse because they're corpses.
instead of corns.
No, well, yeah, no, that's Metal Gear Survive.
Oh, well, you
The
keep
zombie
bringing it
corn.
up. So I figure,
Oh.
hey, this is something you want to play.
Maybe not. Yeah.
So
oh my God.
no, it's not bad, and if obviously it's a free thing, so if you like it, I can definitely see. But it is tough. It's not easy at all. And then the only thing I watched was when my wife and I started a new series, which I don't even know if we're going to be able to see it, but it's called Homeland, and it's
I
on
heard about
Hulu.
it, yeah.
And it's good. It's basically it stars Claire Danes and this other guy, I can't remember his name, but I always remember him as Major Winters in a series that I saw him. But anyway, what happens is they this is she works for the State Department, and obviously it's about ISIS and terrorism and all this stuff. And they discover him, the guy, we'll call him Winters because I can't remember his name. They discover him in like a bunker out in Saudi Arabia, and he's been like a POW for like 8 years. He was he was presumed dead, right? And this is not a spoiler because this is literally in the trailer, and it happens literally at the conspiracy literally starts at episode 1, and that basically is that 8 years or a while before that, the main character got like. She got into some trouble because she tried to help somebody out in Saudi Arabia. But what that dude said to her right before was, "Hey, there's an American that was turned, and now is part of whatever organization, or Abu Nazir, I think the guy's the main villain."
Oh.
And so she didn't believe it. Turns out, there were no POWs, but now now they discover one. So her immediate action is like, "Wait a minute. This is who they're talking about." So she doesn't trust him, even though he's been a POW for 8 years. And
So was he meant to be like a mole from?
so he got captured.
He was legitimate capture.
He got captured. But
He was not infiltrating or
he was
anything.
presumed dead.
Okay,
Basically.
gotcha.
But now it's like, oh, look, they may have created a cell, with this guy. He may be undercover or whatever for them, and so that's the whole deal. Now he comes back as a U.S. Veteran and hero and all this, and she's the only one who suspects it. It's really interesting. There's a lot of there's a good amount of action, not too much, but my only issue is this: there's 7 seasons, and and I'm in episode 5 of season 1 or 6, like we've seen 5 already, and there are about 12 episodes per season.
Oh, long running show.
Yeah, so I don't know if I'm going to make it that far because I'm going. This better not. This main story plot that we have here better not be the same story that's happening in season 7 because I'm going to be like, no. This is way too much. There's one thing I can say: a series that takes way too much time like that is like, no, you're wasting my time. So that said, I'm going to give it a fair due because my wife and I are kind of hooked on it. Like I said, we saw 5 episodes in a row. It was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really all I've been doing.
I wanted to bring something I forgot to mention. Oh, by the way, I also been playing
Resident Evil? Oh.
No, Dragon Quest.
Yeah.
11. And because I remember I told you, man, I kind of want to play this game, but it wasn't grabbing me. It wasn't the right time. I was sitting down as I was completely mega done with Anthem. I was like, okay, let me just try it, and I want to play. I'm gonna get farther than I got them before, and and I have, and so far I've been enjoying it. Bombastic music and all, which I remember is like Oh yeah, this game is super mega Japanese. This is not The Witcher. This is not
No.
the type of game that the RPGs that we're used to where like very little is happening. No, this is the music well, it's not 8-bit, but remember on the
Yes.
old RPG games used to have the music playing all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this is with the music playing all the time in background. But somehow, so I'm enjoying it. I'm a little bummed that it's not the original, the orchestra music, like the orchestrated music.
Mhm.
This is more like computerized, rather than like, for example, the remake that they're bringing to, or the release that they're bringing to the Switch is going to have the actual orchestra music,
Oh,
which is, it sounds
Giant Quest 11.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
I don't know how they got how they got it, or if there was a version that had it. I know that a lot of people complain about the fact that the music on the PC version of Dragon Quest 11 was not great. You heard it yourself, and you heard it. It was very bombastic, very like
Yes.
a little
A little
grating.
much. Just a little
much.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the reason I started playing that and got with it, because I told you I got mega done with Anthem, and I remember why. And it was at this part that I did not realize that could happen. So I was playing with randos, like I said. The team white, on the section, except for, because I was at one point we were just, or at least I was not paying attention to what I was doing. I was just melee all the way, and there was a lot of monsters, and eventually they got to me. And another person died, and then there's a third person that was like running and doing some other shit. I guess they were lost. I don't know what, or just didn't care. If you don't get revived on that game, you don't get to play anymore. You cannot go to to select, like, okay, get out of this mission. Let me go back to the menu. Let me return back to let me respawn or whatever. No, you either get revived or you're done until the other person gets killed or gets disconnected, or I guess finishes with the mission, whatever. I don't know. You literally have to, if you want to get out and complete playing, you have to exit the game, get out of the game,
Leave the team.
leave the game, like quit to the title screen,
Jesus.
and go back in. Like, how did this got lost? How did nobody notice this? Who thought this was a good idea? So you see what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
oh man, oh Anthem,
Oh, Anthony.
oh Anthem.
If only we saw this coming.
If only, I know,
Only
right?
we had saw this coming.
Right.
Dan, it is time for the Mouthful's Fresh Pick.
Fresh Pick of the Week, brought to you by Not Me. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Oh, man. There's a few games here you may have heard of. A lot of these I'm going to mention mostly because the names are hilarious, and I can't believe somebody named them. This
Sticky Balls.
Yes.
A remake of Sticky Balls.
Sticky Balls indeed.
That's for the Gizmondo, if you didn't know.
Gizmodo? Isn't that a website?
No, Gizmodo is the website.
Oh.
The Gizmondo. You don't remember the Gizmondo?
Mm-mm.
Oh, sir. You okay? So you have to do yourself a favor, a big favor, especially if you like the documentaries.
Uh-huh.
Look anywhere. I don't even care what the source is. Look at the history of the Gizmodo, dude, because it was meant to be a handheld, and
I think okay.
it involves the mafia. It involves a Lamborghini that was crushed and broken in half at 170 or 120 miles per hour,
Nice.
with the guy surviving. I mean,
Nice.
I'm spoiling all this,
Yeah,
but
I
it's
was going to
still,
say, what's the point? Yeah.
It is still
No.
amazing.
Okay, I'll look it up.
That Gizmodo, it was meant to compete with a handheld, meant to compete with the Game Boy.
With a-
But,
oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think I
one of the
remember
games
that, yeah.
was Sticky Balls.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay. So here are the releases for this week. First off, Trying 2 complete story coming to Switch.
Wait, Trying to what? Or trying part 2?
Trying to.
Trying to what?
No, trying.
Was trying.
Trying, yeah.
Oh.
Trine.
Oh, trying.
Trying to, yes.
Yeah. Trying to understand what you're trying to say.
Trying to understand what I'm saying. Can you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Snakebird Primer comes to PC and Switch.
What the hell is that?
Who knows? I just love the name. Sinner, Sacrifice for Redemption. Death's End Request comes to PS4. That's a Japanese game if I ever heard one.
Just by the name.
Just by the name, yeah. Yakuza Kiwami comes to PC.
Yes, he comes. Yes, it is.
Here's a good one. Unexplored, the Unlocked Edition comes to PlayStation 4.
The untold story of Dora.
Oh my god.
The Unexplorer.
That's Hacky Sack comes to PlayStation 4. Farm Together comes to PlayStation 4. Clash Battle Arena comes to PC. I Want to Fly comes to Switch. Almost There, the platformer.
Comes to Switch. That's the answer. The other person's like, I want to fly. And the other person's like, almost there.
Almost there.
Oh gosh.
SNK Heroines Tag Team Friendship comes to PC.
That's how you fly. You do a lot of heroin, and then you're almost there.
Oh, wrong kind of heroin, but that's fine. Super Ninja Meow Cat comes to PC and Mac.
What else can you expect?
That is so much the heroin. Worst name I've ever heard. Super Ninja Meow Cat.
No, that sounds awesome. No, Super Ninja Meow Cat?
Not even.
That reminds me of Super Mega Worm. You remember Super Mega Worm?
No.
That was a mobile game. Super Mega Worm.
Super Mega Worm, no.
Super Mega Worm. It was just fun to say.
Super Street, the game, comes to Switch. Aragami Shadow Edition comes to Switch. Gunpowder to the Teeth comes to PC.
Gunpowder to the Sir, I think you're skipping the actual releases and just giving the funniest one.
Just because they're hilarious. No, I'm serious. These are real releases.
This is what
Gunpowder to the Teeth comes to PC.
This is actually what this what this thing should be about.
The segment. Oh,
the segment should be about silly releases.
Silly releases.
Gunpowder to the Teeth.
Streets of Red, Devil's Dare Deluxe comes to PC.
Streets of Red. sounds like Streets of Rage.
Quest for the Golden Duck comes to Switch.
Quest for the Golden. All right.
And then finally, Anthem comes to play. The
worst name of them all.
The full worldwide release of Anthem finally comes to all systems. PlayStation 4 finally gets something because they don't even get the early edition.
Oh, so. You guys can't wait. I know you're super looking forward to that pre-order.
I'm super looking forward to not even playing. I would say our fresh pick of that list is probably Yakuza Kiwami.
Yes.
That's like the only thing that I can think is a fresh pick.
Anthem, for those who like it, you're that meme from Dre where if they show Anthem, you're like putting it away like
nah. That's not my fresh pick.
No.
Not my fresh pick at all. All right, guys, let's get into some news. First piece, Netflix cancels the remaining Marvel series, guys. The Punisher and Jessica Jones.
That was actually shocking.
Hit the chop. Really? How can that be shocking?
That they did it so soon. When is the Disney thing meant to go live?
This year. I don't know when, though.
Okay, so that makes sense. If it's this year, then yeah,
Netflix
they have to start winding up that.
Yeah, Netflix will not produce a third season of Punisher or the fourth season of Jessica Jones. Deadline has confirmed. Following the cancellation of Iron Fist, Luke Cage, and Daredevil, the streaming service has now reached a complete end to its partnership with Marvel Television.
Wow.
The Punisher's second season premiered 1 month ago, January 18th. Netflix ordered a third season of Jessica Jones in April of 2018, and the streaming service says that there are still plans to air it sometime in 2019. We are grateful to Marvel for 5 years of our fruitful partnership. A Netflix representative told Deadline, and thank the passionate fans who have followed these series from the beginning. Not much to say on this, other than
it was suspected.
Yeah, it was suspected. I'm surprised. I'm surprised they are still going to let the Jessica Jones season 3 happen, because that hasn't even aired yet. But I guess it's already filmed. They might as well edit it in.
Would they close it proper, or do you think they're just going to leave it in in suspense until Disney? Let's say they bring it back, but now it's on Disney. It's on Disney.
because of the way it seems to have happened, it probably is going to be left off with a little bit of cliffhanger, and that makes me not even want to watch.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's the problem with that's the problem with most of these series. It's like you get invested on watching them, and then they just stop.
And they stop.
Yeah.
And they'll probably get moved to some other channel. Who knows? We'll
see. Speaking of things that are getting canceled or closing, you might not know about this unless you play games on PC. But there was. So I
don't know.
so you don't know. Yeah. For the audience, the few of you that play on PC. Side note, real quick, hilarious battle that we had that night after the podcast. Me looking for because we were talking on the last podcast. If you guys haven't heard, we were discussing. Or did we ever brought that to the air?
We did.
Or were we?
You brought up some graph that
It was. We were trying to show
some ridiculous.
Basically, Mad Dog is trying to convince me that there are more console players than PC players. And I know it seems that way, and I can understand why someone might make that observation.
It is that way.
But studies have already proven it from several different sources that I just kept hitting him upside the head with it. Yeah. That the opposite is actually just true.
A lot of people have PC, and you have a game of solitaire on it. Sure.
Exactly. So it's counting that.
It's fucking PC.
I mean, that's not what it's counting, but sure. Let's just say that. I'll meet you in the middle.
Oh, there you go. Hey, that's what's happening.
So another thing with PCs that they have a lot is game stores.
That they do. Yes.
They have quite a few of them.
Overabundance of them.
And then some of them were trying to bring even more, like Razer last year, the makers of
phones, yeah.
Phones. Well, actually, they started making phones, but they did mostly game peripherals and computer like keyboards and mice and all that. Up to degrees of qualities, I would say Razer. It's not that terrible, but they develop a reputation for not being that great. The quality of it. Stylistically speaking, they look really nice. Razer products for the most part. The ones that are not gaming extreme, we kind of looks a little jarring. They also have laptops, actually, branded laptops, just like you say, phones. But it was surprising when last year they said that they were going to open a game store, actually, a la Steam and
GOG, Epic,
Epic, and all those. Well, they must have felt the heat way too early, because unfortunately, the Razer game store is closing at the end of the month.
Did it even open?
They opened last year.
Oh, they did open. I thought they announced it last year. Okay.
No, they opened last year. They actually gave me like a couple of coupons where I was able to buy. I bought like 3 games from them for like it was like $15 off or something. They were decent coupons. Obviously, they were trying to attract people, you know, to the market. And then it didn't matter if you bought them from there. It's not like they had a launcher. Although I'm sure that probably would have been in plans, but it was just a game. So you buy it, you get a code. The code, you will redeem it on Steam, and you download the game from Steam or from whatever. Yeah. At the end of the day, you still have the game on Steam or your Origin. My God, I completely forgot. Oh, Uplay. I was mixing Origin. Anyway, so Razer is closing its game store less than a year after it was launched. According to a statement on its game store website, the closure comes as part of the company's realignment plans. The quote says, "We regret to announce that Razer Game Store will cease operations on February 28, 2019 at 01 or 1 o'clock Pacific time." From 1 a.m. it seems to say. As part of the company's realignment plans, in a brief statement said, "It has been a privilege for us to recommend and deliver great digital games deals to you. We have been extremely fortunate to have you as part of our awesome community. Thank you for the support and for making this possible. We will be investing in other ways to deliver great content and introduce game promotions through Razer Gold, our virtual credit system. The company insists existing pre-orders will be fulfilled, and any games purchased through them are through them and being played on a different platform such as Steam, Origin, or Uplay will still be valid, providing you've redeemed your code by the time the store closes on February 28th. And the quote continues, all game purchases will still work after the closure. In case you haven't activated your Steam or Uplay key sets or keys yet, make sure you retrieve them before February 28th from the Razer Game Store. States in an FAQ. Your game keys have been sent to you via email upon purchase, so you'll still be able to retrieve them in the future. Customer support will also remain active for existing customers, although it doesn't specify for how long the service will be available. Razer discounts, however, will become null and void, so make sure you use up any outstanding codes by the end of the month. Gift vouchers, on the other hand, will remain valid until their natural expiry date. And by the way, this came from Eurogamer. So yeah, like I said, it was surprised to see that they were coming into the game store, but then again, it was surprising when they announced a phone. And they delivered a phone, which was actually pretty good. It was pretty nice.
Chakra had one.
Yeah, Chakra had the first one, and they are still continuing making another one. So, yeah, I guess. I mean, not a lot of people knew about it. I only knew because they gave me a couple of good discounts.
I didn't know about it either.
Yeah. They were not a PS4.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
they weren't available.
Now there will never be.
No, too bad.
I know. I know that
was their dream, but
their dream. Yeah.
My next and last piece.
Wow.
There isn't much.
2 days. Only 2 days.
Literally 1 day, because nothing happens on a Sunday. Let's be real.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make this a twofer because they're kind of related anyway. So 2 small pieces. First and foremost, Apex Legends moderators banned more than 16,000 cheaters since the game's February 5th launch and promised more punishment for anyone not getting the message. It may be a little tricky for now.
They should burn their genitals.
Oh wow, that's
what they used to do. That's what they used to do medieval times. Whenever they caught you cheating on an online game,
on an online game in medieval times. Yes, that sounds
Egyptians.
That sounds
did
legit.
It.
Yes. It may be a little tricky for now, as the Battle Royale does not have a reporting feature directly in the game. A community manager said yesterday that developers, quote, have heard your feedback about a report feature in the game and that it's a very good idea. For now, Apex Legends players have to report an offender's ID through this support website, ideally with some sort of evidence, but even without proof, Respawn will take the gamer tag or ID and investigate the suspicious account. The ban info came in an overall update posted on Reddit on Friday. The game's second patch will come sometime this week, although Respawn shared no details about what it entails.
There were some leaks on it, but I didn't care much to talk about.
To look into it?
Leaks, yeah.
Yeah. Interesting thing that already
actually. First of all, yeah, of course, cheaters
won't prosper.
God bless them. Am I right?
Yeah.
But also the fact that so many, but it's good to see that they're already taking. They're taking steps. They're taking serious steps to ban these people and. Because no system is foolproof. Honestly, I think it's fair to say that it is harder, though not impossible, to cheat on consoles. But obviously, PC being the open platform, it tends to, it tends to be a little bit more open on that. And I'm glad that they're catching down on that because this game is really fun. This game is really great. It'll be a shame if suddenly it gets inundated with cheater bots and aim.
I'm sure they'll prepare for that. I mean,
stupid people, stop cheating. If you're not good, GG, get good.
Get good.
Yes.
Part B to this story. Hot off the heels of Shaggy coming to Mortal Kombat. Chappie in Apex Legends.
Chappie, who is Chappie, sir?
Chappie is the star of a 2015 dystopian sci-fi flick by the same name, as a robot whose aesthetics fit in well amongst the heroes of Apex Legends.
It kind of does when you look at it.
Yeah.
It kind of
it really does.
It looks like it could be. He could be a Titan.
Yes.
No, not really a Titan. He could be one of the little utility robots.
Yes.
Yes.
Fans of both have casually suggested South Africa's RoboCop should join the game, and a very very important person now agrees. The film's director.
Yes.
Moreover, Neil Blomkamp already has a relationship with some of the folks involved, albeit the publishing side. Mm-hmm. He just got done doing a piece of live-action eye candy for Anthem, which, as you already know,
and I heard it was very good.
It is actually very good. You haven't seen it?
No, I haven't.
Oh, we should see it in the break.
Yeah.
So that leaves Respawn Entertainment. How does its founder and boss feel about the whole shebang? Well, this is tweet. A lot of people asking me for this. I am down. That's what Neil Blomkamp says. Vince Zampella says, I am also down.
I am also down too.
Yeah. So this may be this may actually happen as opposed to this Shaggy thing that was never going to happen anyway. Yeah.
This would be really cool if it did.
It would be.
Yeah,
unfortunately, it's never that simple just to have those because there's so many people who actually own the rights and IP and all that good shit. So it's interesting. It's cool.
It is cool.
A lot of little fan service. I think it fits really well in that world. If you've seen Chappie, you kind of get what we see when if you play the game and you see Chappie, you can see the similarities.
What would be his ultimate? Oh man, I'm excited.
I don't know, but what I am interested is hearing him talk.
Oh, okay.
I'm interested in hearing his little quips as you're playing the game. That's actually about the best part.
I haven't seen Chappie. I asked you, should I watch the movie? You said, yeah.
If you like sci-fi, you're gonna like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's no reason
I'm down. I was just wondering, like, I was surprised that I saw that it was rated R. And I'm like, why?
Yeah, well,
because I was thinking that it was gonna be kind of like a silly, like Short Circuit. Like this was a Short Circuit remake. You remember Short Circuit?
I do remember.
Johnny Five is alive.
Johnny Five is alive.
Yes. Man, a Johnny Five
with Steve Guttenberg. I remember that.
Oh well, I wouldn't accept it any other way.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. Steve
An
Guttenberg
A+ from me, right
makes
there.
everything better. Steve Guttenberg should be in PUBG. I honestly don't have anything else, but I'm gonna mention this blurb because I found it a little funny, and it was the fact that Apex Legends causes sales of a VR game called Apex Construct to take off.
Told you. Construction, Apex. I told you. It's happening.
Construct, not construction.
Hey, it sounds like a construction company. I said it before.
It says an increase to its store page of over 4,000%.
Jesus Christ.
The huge success of Apex Legend has an interesting impact on VR title Apex Construct, as the similarity in names has caused visits to its Steam page to increase by over 4,000%. Via PC Gamers and Andreas Juliusson of Apex Construct developer Fast Travel Games took to Reddit to discuss the situation in more detail and how the launch of the free-to-play battle royale title Apex Legend, which isn't even on Steam, has affected Apex Construct, which is on Steam and it costs $29.99. In addition to the astronomical jump in visits to its page, Juliusson mentions that we've sold more units of Apex Construct in China in the last 7 days than during all of 2018.
Jesus Christ. The people who bought it too are like, this is not what they advertised.
And he goes to say, he also mentions that while he expects many of these purchases to be refunded once players discover their mistake, our books, this is a quote, our books look pretty good at the moment.
Exactly.
However, it is all good news for Apex Construct, as the title has received a high amount of negative reviews from Chinese buyers who felt they have been scammed, even though we have done nothing wrong. End quote. Fast Travel Games has the Steam community looking into the issue, and hopefully they will find a solution that will offset some of the negativity. I gonna give them a hand.
You're gonna go in and rate them?
No. I'm actually.
You gonna buy the game?
I know they listen to our podcast. Actually, I happen to know that they're huge fans of our podcast.
Oh, I see.
And because of that, I want to offer them advice for free. Just consultation, a game consultation for free, and that is you should totally change the title of your name to not Apex Legends.
Yes.
That's it.
That's it, yeah.
That's it.
Fixed.
If you are attracting search engines for all people that are looking for Apex and Apex Legends. Also, you are receiving all the visitors that are frustrated with with Apex Legends taken away from Fortnite, so they're looking for not Apex Legends.
On top of that, yes.
And yeah, it's a win-win.
And on top of that, you get a couple laughs out of everybody.
Yeah, exactly. And
goes,
you avoid litigation because this game is not Apex Legends.
Yes.
We are the
literally
construct.
in its name.
It's in the name. And that is really all we have for the last 2 days that we've been
doing
off since our last podcast.
Awesome, guys. We'll be right back with our Hot Topic. Thanks so much for coming back, guys. We are going into our Hot Topic of the week. Hot Topic, of course, this week is our review of Alita Battle Angel. Yes. Obviously, we're going to be as non-spoilery as possible in the beginning portion, and we will obviously give a nice notification when we do go into spoilers. And when we go into spoilers, we're going full spoilers.
Yeah, we're full tilt.
Exactly. So there's no, there's not, obviously you will know.
You're going to know who Luke Father is.
Yes.
And
exactly. You're going to know the betrayal of Fredo.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You're going to know all that good stuff.
And he sees dead people.
Yeah, he does.
That's right.
Yes. So let's start. So first off, if you don't know about this movie, it starts Rosa. Oh man, I'm gonna mess up her name here.
Oh, bring the cast because the cast is actually
it's an interesting cast.
It's an interesting cast.
And I will keep certain aspects of that may be spoilery out of it. That said, it stars the main star, which is Alita Rosa Salazar. I'm sorry, that was her name.
Yeah.
It also stars Christoph Waltz, which is one of my favorite actors. Plays Dr. Ito.
I heard a lot of people remind me of his movie because I heard a lot of people say, "Oh yeah, it's awesome that he's there."
He's been in 2 of Quentin Tarantino films. He was in.
If you say Pulp Fiction, I'm gonna
no, Pulp Fiction. Oh my God, it's slipping.
Dawn of the Dead.
Let me just hit on his name and it'll pop up here. Django Unchained.
Oh, there you go.
And Inglourious Bastards.
Oh wow, okay.
And he's been in other stuff too. But dude, let me tell you, those are where he shined.
Okay,
he's just such a good freaking actor.
So, but you knew that he was there.
I did. Yeah, seen the trailer. I saw he was in it. Yeah. So that already kind of elevated it. Jennifer Connelly. I always mess up her name. Connelly.
Another person that people were like, oh yeah, Jennifer Connelly's there, and I'm like thinking like, who is she again? Remind me. I'm not the guys. I know you guys are laughing, but I'm not a movie buff or anything like that. I just watch it for entertainment every now and then when I'm not playing. Yes. So if you say you don't remember this movie, she was in the Matrix or whatever you want to say, it's like no, I'm not gonna remember names.
A couple of people you may know, Mahershala Ali, which is he's like everywhere now. He's like the next. Here, I'm gonna get you a picture. Mahershala Ali.
Yes.
He's like the next freaking Samuel Jackson. He's just everywhere.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
He has been. Yeah.
Ed Skrein, which you probably recognize him from a couple of things. He was actually in. I want to say he was in Deadpool. I think was it the first. Yeah, he was in the first Deadpool. Mm-hmm. And then finally Jackie Earl Haley, which is another good actor which I like. So it's a great cast.
Yeah.
So overall, sir, what were your thoughts on this movie, sir?
Well, I mean, as far as the casting goes, there's overall, yeah. It was. I don't think it was terrible. I don't feel like they were. See, these are characters that I'm not. It's a universe that I'm not familiar with. Mm-hmm. So when the character plays themselves as one part, I can't discern and say, "Oh, this should have been better." I only have a problem with one character.
Yes.
You know,
and I know who that is.
And do you? Because that's Hugo.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
He's a horrible character.
I only have
no offense to Hugo.
A problem with you know the
Ken Johnson. Yeah.
Yes. I did not. Like
he was just really really out of place.
I'm gonna try to. We're gonna talk into some more detail about the movie itself, but keeping it as far as just the characters, I did not like him. I love Rosa Salazar. I thought, well, is it her likeness except that she has bigger eyes, or because I saw the thing and. Maybe it was obviously the bigger eyes, but it was like an anime version of her.
Basically, this is her right here.
It is what. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yes, it is. It is.
And
okay.
apparently they made her mouth a little smaller.
A little smaller. Yeah. Again, trying to go for that anime look.
Very anime
on it. And
which to be fair, I have to say. Originally, I think when we all saw the trailer, and you and I can agree, is like, man, this looks cool, but wow, what did they do here?
It looks kind of weird. It looks kind of creepy.
Yeah. And it literally takes 5 minutes. And not only am I already used to it, I can't take my eyes off
yes.
it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I'm just like, it looks really good. Like, really, really good.
It was.
like,
and
wow.
I believe I read somewhere where on a report that I agree, which is she suddenly made us forget about the Uncanny Valley. You know,
the Uncanny Valley. Okay,
that feeling of this CGI characters, they try to make it
look weird. Yeah,
they try to make
off.
Yeah, something's off. They're trying to make him very, very real, but you know, they have like those dead eye looks for the most part, and you can see that a lot in games. Of course, in games we're already used to because it's like whatever. But no, this character, it looks very alive in a way that I was actually very impressed. Like everything, she was to quote a freaking terrible line. She was the most human character that has been.
Yes, that was ever been. A really horrible line.
And that was actually a line that was on the trailer.
Yes.
And that line was god awful.
Yes. It's just as bad as it sounds.
It is, yes.
It's even worse when delivered.
And we're gonna tell you when. Magda will tell you when that gets when I was actually delivered. But it's a quote from the movie. But yeah, I do. I was like totally entranced with just not only her movements and the expression of her face, but also like her voice. Like I immediately, like in my head, she was like, "Oh, she's a really cool chick."
Yes,
like
exactly. Yeah.
This is a person I was totally hang out. You know, a younger version of me. Right now, it will be creepy, but yes. A younger version of me would have been like probably would have been completely in love. But that's besides the point. What I'm trying to say is that her character was awesome. Her expression had the acting like this. Rosa Salazar, she nailed it.
Yes.
I honestly. Now I'm interested in seeing more material from her, like in whatever movie she has been in. She has been in any, or
she was in Bird Box.
Yes, I heard that.
She was in something else. Yeah. A lot of the other stuff she's been in, it's been smaller roles. This is like her first major thing. Yeah, and
major debut. Well, what a way to come
she was
out
in. Actually, it's funny how you mentioned that. She was in The Maze Runner.
Oh, okay.
Let me see.
Another one of those movies.
Yeah. It was humorous that you mentioned. Yeah, I think she's in all the Maze Runners, or at least two. Yeah, definitely two out of three. No, take it back. She's in all three.
Oh, okay. So she survives then. All right.
So, she's in all of them.
She's not a red shirt and gets killed somewhere in this.
She was in Chips, the movie. So she's been out there. Yeah, but this is literally her breakout role.
Yeah, she's the protagonist.
Yes,
and she does awesome. Yes, and all the other characters like the father, you saw
Dr. Ito.
Oh,
Dr. Ito.
Dr. Ito, yeah, played by
Christoph Waltz.
Which I realized he's a great actor. I didn't care that much for his performance here.
Yeah, it wasn't much to go on.
And
especially since he is an older guy. There are some moments where he's involved with action and just like, ooh, dude, you're old, bro.
Yeah, no, you
slow this down. Yeah,
it was almost watching Harrison Ford on the Star Wars
exactly
on episode.
It's just like, oof, dude, just sit down, don't break a hip.
Yeah,
it's like it's all
did
right.
not look like he was supposed to be what it.
That was a great choice for the actor, not so much for that the part required. You know what I mean? It's like you needed somebody else younger who can make those things believable. And unfortunately, he fell a little short.
Like even the some parts on the movie that were meant to be like emotional, like some might even say like, oh wow, like almost like tragic, and he's leaving them as, oh shit, like it doesn't feel like, man, if something like that were to happen to a normal person in a normal life, it would be like devastating. This person was taking like the same thing with who. The person that was supposed to be that was her his wife,
Jennifer Connelly.
Yeah. Same thing with her. Another thing
they both seem very, and I don't know if
very passive for what happened. Very like, you know,
Shireen is her name.
Shireen,
in the movie.
yes,
and she, I don't know if they were, because basically there's to give you the premise of the story, there is this world, or there's this city that exist above the town that they're in, Iron City, which is this ghetto basically underneath it all. And it seems like that the people up there have this sort of just really disconnected attitude, and I wonder if that's what was they were trying to portray. But I mean, that's obviously I'm just literally pulling at straws here to try to exactly, because obviously there's nothing really given.
You sort of want to justify some of the some of the their choices.
Yes. And the decisions and how they basically how they react to certain things. So let's get into some of the topics here. So first and foremost,
before we go to topic, just, one last thing, real quick on passing, because I obviously don't want to say too much, but even the character that was meant to be like the villain, it was kind of like, well. Really? Yeah. It was a little off. Obviously, this is actually going to be a little bit more nuanced especially when we get into the spoiler portion for those who have already seen the movie and would like to know what the hell we're actually talking about. We don't want to obviously.
We don't want to spoil anything.
We just want to give you our impressions first, and then we'll go into full tilt review.
So let's start off with special effects, sir. So special effects, I have to say, were top notch. I think that we've seen many films so far. Even from last year, we saw Avengers, Black Panther. A bunch of the high special effects concept movies, and they always kind of fall a little short. Black Panther really kind of hit on that, especially towards the end. It was like, this needed more time.
Like the city, the city looked okay, cool, but the movement and the CGI of the action pieces and the characters themselves were like, oh.
Yeah, they felt very, those aren't real. Those are definitely computerized people.
Look at the strings.
Flipping. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So here, my goodness, does it look good? You know what I mean? It's like there's no, the level of detail with everything, the characters who are part robotic, because this is a little bit of a cyberpunk world where people have given up parts of their body either by choice or by necessity to be replaced with robotic pieces, essentially.
Cybernetic part.
Correct, cybernetic part. And so when you see them in motion, you expect it to have this little weird, you can tell his arm is probably attached to his waist because that thing is sticking out. And no, there's none of that. It looks like what you would really think it should look like, and almost freaky in a way. And it's like, man, that's just wow.
It doesn't look tacked on or put together to a computer, even though it probably was.
Yeah. It definitely was, and it's just so well done.
It looks freakishly natural.
Yes.
The combination of the biotic, the person,
the human
parts,
and the body,
and the body itself. It was very surreal. I love the fact that anything and everything that was meant to look worn, used, rusted,
exactly,
destroyed, it looked the part.
Exactly,
and that made the whole world more vivid, especially on Iron City.
Iron City, yeah.
Which you look at first, you look at where the city, where the city is basically. And it looks, run down and devastated, very brownish and all that. And then you look at the rest of the area of the city, what once was like probably an amazing civilization. and you see the destruction, kind of like a nuclear, like a
After a war.
post-apocalyptic,
Yeah.
after a war, exactly. The movie, not to give any spoilers or anything like that, but it gives you glimpses on what that city actually looked like.
Yeah.
And dude, it was freaking gorgeous. It was amazing. It looked super mega futuristic, but with that look that made it look like real. Like this actually, this is the sky view, the drone view of an actual city. It just happens to be like this crazy gorgeous, and of course, seeing the like the devastation that was starting to happen, at the beginning of the war or whatever there, it was almost sad to see it.
Yes.
And I kind of hope that we get to see a little bit more, or the movie actually gives you a couple of glimpses like that, but it's not enough. Like I wanted to see more.
The more of that city. I'm curious to see. Wanted to see more of the city at the top, which I'm going to call Midgar because I forgot the name of the city at the top. But it's basically Midgar, a city on a plate.
A city on a plate. There you go. It's floating in the sky, and
and if you know what Midgar is, then you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, even the worn down city, everything did have a wonderfully worn, just lived in look and feel to it, which when you really think about it, a lot of that probably was most of that, if not anything, was especially the wide shots were all CG.
That's funny.
You know what I mean?
And I forgot what was that. That was that expression that actually Cliff Basinski gave when he was describing. This was at the very beginning when they was talking about Gears of War, and he was talking about this like beautiful sadness or beautiful destruction or beautiful. It's like. Yes, you see the city is worn down, it's destroyed, it doesn't look great, it's dirty and all that, but there's a certain level of beauty on that because it's so well crafted.
Like Last of Us. The Last of Us, when you see the city, it's beautiful, but it is being taken back by nature.
Yes, it's a devastation,
yes,
but it is beautiful because it's been taken by nature.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Special effects, definitely, I think we both agree.
Special effects, I would say probably one of the better ones that I've seen in a long time. This type of movies. I mean, that's why being like
not only I'm sorry to interrupt, but not only that, it's also the moments where CG quote unquote touches reality.
Yes,
and that's done so often, and it's so seamless that you're like, is that real? Is there something there? Am I looking at this wrong, or is this some really good ass freaking magic that I can't, movie magic that I can't understand? So it is. Amazingly done.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. There are several scenes where you can see, the character like holding the hand of another character, for example, that is meant to be like robotic and whatever, and it is very seamless. It is very smooth. There's nothing nothing came up to me looking like, oh, this is too.
It looks
off. It looks like it shouldn't be there.
How they did it, however they did it, was
director, not director, screenplay.
James Cameron.
Thank you.
Robert Rodriguez was director.
And Robert Rodriguez, exactly. So right there alone. You have a really what should be the ingredients of a very nice. Recipe.
Yes, I agree. Which is where my interest, like, ooh, I'm gonna get that.
I didn't even know until later that it was him, and I was like, oh, I'm completely on board.
So next category, sir, characters. Frankly, I have to get the elephant out of the way, man. Hugo was. I just did not like Hugo. He was. I mean.
We did not.
He was not well written.
He was not well written.
He was, and I'm sorry for the actor, but man, you got to go back. You got to go back to school a little bit here because it was just like you're not delivering or selling me on anything you're telling me.
No,
you feel like this is High School Musical here. This is what this feels like. Yes. And I was a little bit bummed out by that. Especially when Alita is playing off of him, and I'm just like, my God, it's night and day.
The difference,
it's like night and day.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he was really the roughest part of it. Him and and the people within his crew.
Entourage,
The rest of the people were serviceable. I don't think anybody else really stood out.
Like I said, the dad. I'm gonna call him the dad.
The dad
and the mom.
Dr.
I'm gonna call
Ito,
it the mom.
Dr. Ito,
yeah.
They were
They weren't. Yeah,
serviceable.
they were. All right. Yeah. For the most part,
It was all Alita, man.
We're gonna,
It was all Alita, yeah.
This movie was pretty much carried by her.
Yes,
And
I know. Anything she was anything like them, and the movie to me would have not worked in any way. Yeah, it would not work.
And to clarify, I'm still at least I'm personally qualifying this with for the material she was given.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Likewise with them. They were. Speaking of which, let's actually move in to the next part, which is story, and that's kind of a weak point of the movie. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it is. I don't want to say it's nonsensical, but it is definitely. It's stuff you've already watched and felt. It's like, okay, I get it. It's you got to do this so you can make your way to the top. It's stuff you've seen already.
You got you get the joke when I say I like this movie when it was called Hunger Games.
Yeah, exactly. If
when it was
Hunger
called
Games,
when it was called Allegiance.
Yes.
when it was called
Maze Runner.
Maze Runner.
Yeah, exactly.
All those those type of teenage movies.
Yes.
I mean, I'm gonna throw it out there, and people are gonna hate me, but even Twilight, it had a little bit of that to the point where it's like, oh man,
I don't know if I can go with you on that one there.
But there was some.
I mean,
can you fall in love with a cyber? It was pretty much. Can you fall in love with a vampire?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
that's what I mean. It's like
okay.
It was not.
That makes sense. Although they didn't. I don't. Well, I guess they did. I think about it. Yeah, they bring it up, going. Yeah, it brings it up here and there, and I don't know. Well, I mean, like I said, it definitely, goes down already. You trying paths, you know what I mean? That we've already. Obviously, we just named a few, and believe me, there are more.
Believe me, there are more,
more comparisons.
It is that formula. It is that exact formula. Love it or hate it. I don't have anything against that formula. It's just that.
I think
I wasn't expecting this movie to end up being that.
Yeah.
Once it became very apparent that it was gonna be that, it kind of took me off a notch, a little bit, or a lot of bit actually. But not to say that it was bad or anything like that. It's just I was disappointed because I still like of all those formulaic like young hero / heroine of savior of the world or whatever you want to call it.
This one was definitely done, I think, a little bit. There's some scenes which I don't want to get into. I'll get into spoilers.
No, I will still give it to Hunger Games, hands down.
I mean, that's because, I mean, I guess that's true, because that is overall probably a better, although that did have some shoddy writing in it as well. And some silly-ass characters.
And it has some silly-ass characters,
But yes, I see what you're saying.
But it gave you the powerful moments. They gave it to you a lot better than this one did.
I would that is true. Yeah, that is true. But I would definitely say both of these films were carried by a strong female lead.
Yes, absolutely. Jennifer Lawrence on that one, and obviously
to follow right along with story, we have writing, which was hilarious most of the time. And I don't mean because it was comical. I mean because it was silly.
It was anime.
It was basically anime.
Yeah.
It was so anime. It's one of those things where you realize, I'm sure that works on paper, but when somebody says it out loud, doesn't quite work.
When you put actual people like doing this stuff, it kind of doesn't make much sense, that they will be acting and doing these things. But okay, it was not the story versus the writing. Like the writing, I didn't think it was great.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. The story,
very anime though. Yeah,
very anime. The story, however, being again very formulaic to those things that we described already. It's a formula. You can only mess it up so much, and I don't think this fell down. And it was a little hit or miss, and I personally felt like at the very end, for being the same type of movie that there was one is fairly stuck there. It's landing. It was rough. It was a rough landing. But it was everybody's alive. There were no major damage. Although some people might be traumatized of the experience.
Not me. I was fine with it. But and then we have Fun Factor. Fun Factor, sir, I think is up there. It was a very fun movie. Yeah.
It was fun. Oh, we're leaving reviewers till
well, yeah, because now, that's the end. That's the last one. Yeah,
okay.
Fun Factor.
Well, so Fun Factor, yeah, obviously,
yeah,
very
I think
fun
it was
movie
a
at
lot
the
of
end.
fun. I think the action was really great. I think one of the
It's a little
best.
too long, though.
The movie.
I felt like it was a little long.
I can't.
Was 2 hours?
It was literally 2 hours. 2 hours and 2 minutes.
2 hours
and,
and 2 minutes?
and if you take credits away, it's less than 2 hours.
That's what it felt. I was gonna say it felt like a 2-hour movie. That's exactly what it was. Okay, then. And okay.
It didn't feel too long to me. But I will definitely say once the action gets going, which does obviously there's a little bit of a setup in the beginning. So you're probably but once you start seeing and you start seeing Alita in action, one of the best parts that I think a lot of these movies get wrong is allowing us to see the action. Yes, it has to be fast, especially with this where you're dealing with a lot of robots who move faster than humans.
Cyborg, sir.
Cyborg, excuse me.
That's the proper term.
Apologies.
Thank you.
Apologies. The fact is that they slow things down at the right moment to give you this nice angle, this beautiful, and again, very well special effects wise to show.
They don't have to exaggerate them slow like Matrix level, but just enough to
see what's going on. Even when they move fast, it's done in a really clear way as to what's happening. So the action was definitely it was fun because of that.
Yeah, and you compare that with the fact that you are seeing exactly what's going because everything has so much detail that you are seeing like, oh my god, she almost got cut by this thing that almost like.
And she's badass on top of that. She's badass.
Super amazing fighter. Her fighting was ultimate, and I think they called that a particular cyborg martial art or something, right?
I don't know if it was cyborg, but it was definitely
whatever, something like that. It's not that.
It was definitely a form of fighting.
It was a cyborg, a jet cyborg doll, something like that.
Yes, we'll call it that.
Yes, it was.
But no,
they give it a name.
They do give it a name. It is a lot of fun, especially when they include what's it called, motorball. The motorball aspects of it. I thought that was fun too.
I didn't care for the motorboard that much.
It's not a big part of it.
No,
either.
It was not a big part of it, and it was crazy. It also came in kind of late.
Is it called motorball? Because I feel like it's.
I thought it was murder ball.
No. It was. I think it was motorball. Yeah.
Double check. I think it was murder ball for some reason. It's rollerblade. Whatever.
Yeah.
So that part. Imagine yourself imagine the pod race, in Star Wars, right? Or what else it'll be like, whatever. It's gonna be the intermission that is meant to be like the sport that everybody's gonna be watching, or
motorball,
motorball,
like a motor engine. Yeah, motor
okay,
ball,
there you go. Okay, so murder ball is what.
It's a very brutal sport. It's very honestly, it's very similar to roller derby, I think it's called, where they kind of.
That's the one I was looking for.
Yeah, where they're just rolling. That's kind of similar to that, only way more fast, and my God, way more brutal. But then again, most of the people doing this are all cyborgs,
and they have It's some brutal action there, and it's not to say I didn't dislike it. I thought it was fun to watch. Honest, it's just of all the parts, on the movie, I felt like you were mentioning the action, and yes, this movie has a lot of action. Unfortunately, it's kind of interspersed by a lot of I don't want to call it love scenes, but relationship-y.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Things. Which is that's the teenage
thing, yeah.
That's the teenage portion of the movie. The teenage love story portion of the movie, which I was kind of hoping that it didn't end up being, but unfortunately,
I had no illusion, sir. I knew that was going to be part of it. Yeah.
Well, because you knew about the anime, probably.
I'm not even sure that's even included in the anime.
Really?
No, I mean, I know a little bit about the manga, and I actually looked up more about it after seeing the movie because I was interested in more about it, which I'll get into a little bit.
Well, I was hoping that it was going to be some story like that, a level like that, because at some point you start seeing the movie and it kind of looks like, oh, okay, so this is gonna be a little campy, a little silly, but then like heads roll, for example, or she throws the F word, at one point,
which
and you're
like, great.
Whoa,
it was a well-deserved one.
Unexpected, yeah.
Sometimes those silly out of the blue F bombs are like,
yes,
but this one was like well deserved.
For every moment, not for every moment, but for that moment that he deserved, it also have a couple of moments that he totally did not deserve. Like it was like, wait, what? Like what are you doing? And we'll talk about it later on. But yes, I gotta say, overall, I thought it was fun. I got out of the movie theater being like, I liked it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Finally, reviewers tilt.
Reviewers tilt. Yes. All right.
So, sir, you have to give what your interpretation of this. So
I'll tell you when I call it reviewer tilt, or not me, I didn't came up with it, but this used to be somewhere, and the idea was, let's say when you're reviewing a game, and you're taking it apart, in graphics and music and sound and multiplayer, or kind of like what we have been doing here.
Basically, you're in there.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, the movie. And even if those things were to score, let's say they score on the lower level, the movie is more than just the sum of its parts.
Yes.
So it's more than just taking, well, this was 4, this was 4, this was 3, this was 4, and therefore this movie is a 4. It is.
It all averages out to a 4.
Yeah, it averages out. No, it is. This is the part where you can sort of understand that. Yeah, those parts might have not come together the way I was hoping. But at the end, I was really entertained, and at the end, I do want to see more of it in the future, and I walked out of that movie theater satisfied.
Yes,
I wasn't frustrated like with Glass, So
yes.
and it might be the other way. Like for example, many reviewers on Rotten Tomatoes. We're giving it a good score to Glass, and in my case, I could have said, well, Glass would be in a bad example. Because there's not a lot of things that could, but you could be
still got like a 30 or something like that.
All right, let's say, shit, I don't know. Let's say, okay,
let's bring back the best one.
Let's say which one?
It follows.
It follows. Yes, exactly. Let's bring
97% on Rotten Tomatoes.
97% on Rotten Tomatoes. Yes, the place. This is totally me, by the way, of course. The setting was amazing. It was great what they did with not letting you know what era it was, and the music was fantastic, and the acting was cool, and all that. But I did not like it at all. Yeah. I don't have to say more. I did not like it at all, and I threw that review tilt way low just to try to bring the score as low as I could. Because
whatever
I would
allowed.
Not recommend. Yeah, whatever allowed. Yeah, within reasonable. Within reason. It's like trying to say, last example, and then we'll go into it. 7. I think 7. That movie is great. I realize that movie is fantastic. I realize that movie has it nails it in every category, right? Would you agree?
I would say so, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
My review tilt will go down because even though those things were like fantastic, I still did not like it. And I'm not saying that I hate it.
No, I get
but
it. It wasn't for you.
It wasn't for me. So it's kind of like that. That's the part that it's a little bit less. What do you call it when you're trying to be agnostic? It's more. It's a little bit more your own.
Yeah, it's your own feeling.
Yeah,
it's your own,
exactly.
That makes sense. So, I guess now that we know what reviews tilt is, what we're trying to get to, I can definitely say that my tilt is on its way up from the sum of its parts. Graphic special effects, loved it. The only character I really, special effects were amazing. I had a lot of fun in this movie.
Yeah.
The story was you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It is what it was. The writing really needed another draft.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Another writer.
Sure. Yeah, whatever would fix it. But realistically, though, I freaking fell in love with Alita. I think I could not believe that the character, when I first saw that trailer, and I was like, why did they go and do this? Of all the decisions, this is what you decided to go with. Why? And then you see the movie, and man, you just believe. You just believe that's what it is. And she is adorable. She is awesome. She is deadly. And
she's a really cool,
and she's
strong character.
cool on top of that.
Yeah,
and so honestly, the movie literally lives and dies with her, and that's the reason why I thought it was way more fun than I thought it was going to be. Way more special effects were way more impressive than I was expecting, and so yeah, for that I mean I easily land on a 7.5.
On overall,
a
7.5. That's fair. That's fair because I would say that what you described is pretty much where I'm standing. The Alita as a character to me was what drove the entire movie. It did a lot to set this universe to make it interesting, and I want to know more. That said, yes, I didn't care much about the plot with the love story. I didn't care much about a couple of things that we're actually gonna go now into the spoilers in a moment. And I'm gonna tell you specifically, but there were a couple of parts where it left me like, okay, that was unnecessary. That was not needed. That is not earned, like you mentioned. But overall, I came out satisfied with the movie. I would say a 7.5. Also, I will give it. In retrospect. And
yeah, my initial impressions, I walked out of the theater going, man, this was good. I was leaning towards an 8.
Yeah, me too.
But I literally, I've made it a habit now not to use that initial impression. It's really an early impression. Even though I just saw it, I saw it all. It's the initial impression I have. And I'm like, once I sit back and I start looking at everything, I say, you know what? Let me, and sometimes it go up, sometimes it go down. Like when I saw Last Jedi, I was like, this was a 9.
Yeah,
and then at my ride home, I was like, no, fuck this. This was a 9.5. This is that fucking good. Even with that stupid scene in the middle. But anyway, so for this one, I leaned back into 7.5. I was like, yeah, that's way more appropriate.
That's where it feels. Although I do try to make it a habit of remembering how I felt out. Because at the end of the day, that's what matters the most. How you live. Because you're not going to return, or at least I don't watch movies to retain every little detail that has happened to be a critic. I'm not a critic. This is not me. This is not all being critics. We're just, at least in my case, I feel you can speak more. You watch a lot more movies. You actually have a lot of more insight that I appreciate, and you have actually even written reviews that are well done that actually express properly what I would have trouble even noticing. Like there's a lot of things that I would tell you, oh no, I didn't even notice that. Was that what that meant? And stuff like that. So, but overall, my feeling leaving the movie theater, I could be ecstatic. I could be actually like very pumped. That's a good feeling. I'm gonna give it a good score on that. Of course, when you get more time to think about some of the things, that's when you realize that, oh yeah, it turns out, Phantom Menace was not that great.
Yes.
So you also have to remember that.
Yes. That's
I'm not throwing my bias here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I land on 7.5 as well.
Awesome. Yeah. All right, guys. So we're gonna go into spoilers, starting right now.
Warning. Spoiler alert.
I was gonna say we should probably include some sort of like
red light.
Yes, not red light, but like some sort of jingle or something like you are now entering spoiler zone.
Oh, yeah.
Something crazy.
You are entering a world of sight and sound.
That will be spoiling the rest of the evening for you. So now that we're in spoilers, guys, and last morning we were in there now. Yeah, dude. The
Darth Vader looks that. Oh, there you
go. The love story was not earned, and Hugo was, like I said, a cardboard character, dude. He was a cardboard.
You know
character.
what? Let's. Okay, so I'm gonna take it from. I mean, not literally going through the whole movie because I'm not gonna remember.
Yeah.
But at the beginning, the movie started with that beautiful scene of Dr. Ito. Encountering the basically the frame with, I guess, an intact brain of what was once Alita, which we later come to discover that she was basically a super weapon of 300 years in the past.
300 years in the past, yeah.
She is 300 years in the past. Now, mind you, not a lot have changed in 300 years. When I think of 300 years from today, we were talking about like what? Colonial era or Taínos were still living in Puerto Rico?
We may be a little bit in medieval times.
In the same medieval times, though, right? Right?
Yeah.
So evidently, 300 years on that is not that much, But that's that's a nitpick.
I think once you get to a point where your technology is technology,
yeah,
there's just only what I mean. You've reached the cap, and at that point, you're just improving on little things. You know what I mean?
And to be fair, we don't get a glimpse of what's
how technology,
or a clear glimpse how technology is like on that city in the cloud, because we're never given given that.
We're not.
But but that said, I was starting to get a little worried right from the start when the whole thing started with that typical, young female fish out of the water situation where she's walking around the street, but oh my God, no, let's move her because she almost got run over.
Idea
because she has no idea. She's so innocent.
Completely. I mean, granted, she lost her memory. I get it. She doesn't know how to eat an orange.
No, she doesn't know. Yeah, she's hungry, but she doesn't know what's eatable or not.
And I mean, I'm not one to know how amnesia works.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? But I think normal thing there is some things that are instinctual. That you should just kind of know. You know what I mean? And
peel the fucking orange.
Peel the orange. Get out of the street when you see a bunch of machines driving by. Right?
Yeah.
So those type of things. Yeah, I've always. That's what bothered me about Wonder Woman. It was just like, really? I know she's been an island, all this, but you gotta know.
Yeah,
no one's walking around with a sword and a shield. Why do you think you should?
Why? Exactly.
But anyway, yes, that obviously that and of course that's right when she runs into Hugo for the first time.
She runs into Hugo,
and it's like love at first sight, and I'm just like, oh, now you've cheapened the character a little bit here. It's like really
a lot of it. Again, we're talking about what's meant to be like like one of many weapons. I guess she was part of a battle unit.
Yes, many of them.
And something and stuff happened on that war,
which were pretty cool. By the way, did you know that Michelle Rodriguez was the one who was playing her
commander?
Yeah.
On the little scene.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah, I didn't know that because you can barely recognize her. Yeah. I didn't know. I found that out later.
She was so cybernetic.
Really? She was very cybernetic.
Yeah, that's why you can't recognize it. But yeah, I guess it sounded a lot like her.
Yeah. When you think about it, you're like,
awesome.
Yeah, okay. So that was cool to see.
That scene was amazing. That scene was really good. Watching them fighting the little bit. I'm sorry. The little flicks of her past when she is, I guess she has to be put in. She has to be put in danger to suddenly like trigger her memories, and then she'll remember. Oh, wait a minute! I used to kick ass.
Yes.
So let me kick ass now.
I remember something with the moon.
Yes.
And there's this martial arts that. Oh, yes, I got it.
Yes, exactly. I know kung fu.
When she starts to beat ass. Now going to Dr. Ito as a hunter warrior.
That was stupid, bro.
I'm like, and hey, maybe that's part of the main manga and all that stuff. But that guy who's in the manga is significantly younger than Christoph Waltz.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, oh, this was such a miss.
If you were trying to go for let's make this character a father figure, because let's face it, put it too young, it might have been confused for a love interest at some point. So maybe the writers and whatnot wanted to distinguish that. Okay, no, this is did that. Obviously the love interest is gonna be this Menudo kid over here. It's gonna with the hair and everything.
With the hair and every so often there's this. Have you ever seen the spoof for Twilight?
Oh my God, no! But I have to.
There's a spoof, and it has the guy who I guess is playing the Jacob character. And she goes, "Why are you having your shirt off?" Oh, it's part of my contract. I need to have my shirt off all the time. And then he takes out water and just like misses himself.
Oh my God! Shut up! Because the movie does that.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
The movie literally does that.
I'm just going, oh my God.
There is the part where you have to have shirtless Hugo.
Yeah, shirtless
Hugo. Because it was probably in his contract.
In the contract. And he's got to show off the abs.
This is exactly. Yeah. It's establishing right there. No, this is the person Alita is meant to be attracted to.
Correct, yes.
Because, of course, he's got to be shirtless in this particular scene.
She digs it so much, she literally hands him her heart.
Oh my God.
Which was another really cringeworthy scene.
This movie is chock full of cringiness. I mean, okay, maybe I'm exaggerating now because I was surprised. To be fair, I didn't that much at that moment.
I didn't cringe on it, but when you really sit back and think about it,
it was kind of dumb, like
silly,
nonsensical. Like she is, obviously she's a cyborg. She has her heart, I guess, because she's a cyborg, but she's this special superpower cyborg. Her heart, it is described as having enough power to
power the city.
To power the city for years.
Yeah.
Which and that it might have been obviously an exaggeration, but that's fine. Yeah. But she offers her, like, literally, she takes her heart, cables and all, out of her chest, gives it to him. And it's meant to be like, I'm giving you my heart. Yes. And I'm like right
the
here.
Most important part of
tell me that
body.
Was not a Twilight ass moment.
Where
you feel like, okay, this is. I mean, this is. I can't remember. I actually didn't hate. Anyway, the part I can remember parts of Twilight. Let's put it that way. I used to have. There were kids that I used to take care of that would watch it over and over.
Whatever you guys say.
Anyway, that would be the part of Edward and Bella going into the magical meadow or whatever, where the sun shines Edward and he glistens.
Yes.
Yeah. It was that cringy moment of it's meant to be magical, but it did not land at all.
It was silly. I didn't find it. Again, I agree with you. At the time, I didn't find it cringeworthy as I think about it now, but it definitely is silly overall.
Yeah, it's definitely silly. Yes.
Especially because we knew that wasn't going to happen. It's like it was a useless gesture because we knew you're not going to give him his heart. Obviously you're not going to do that.
No. So, and if you do, then you're not that smart of a
exactly.
cyborg.
So but clearly she was meant to just be in love with him and all that.
And so in love that not realizing that surprise, it turns out, stop me if you've seen this on any other movies, he was working for the bad guys until he had a change of heart. Completely unearned at some moment, like turned like that while they were seeing each other, so to speak. He was still jacking up other cybernetic and like, dude, like, you're taking their arms and their legs
and leaving them just kind of
nothing personal. No, you just leaving this person to die. You're taking their parts. You're working. Obviously, you're contracted by who's supposed to be the villain. The villain. Thank you. That's the word.
Who from the trailers and everything, we're led to believe that that's the main villain.
Yeah.
But it turns out that's not the case.
No. So
Vector is the name.
Vector is it's the name of the who we thought it was the villain, right?
Yeah. Vector.
Okay. So again. Of course, it's going to have that, and then it's going to have the real villain behind the curtain, which is like, to use the Hunger Games, it's going to be like the Mr. Snow. That's the Snow on Hunger Games. Mm-hmm. Well, there is that version of that character.
That is basically what he is, blonde and all.
Yeah.
So real quick, we're gonna be jumping around a little bit anyway. But Nova is the character we're referring to. And what did you think of the fact that not only we see him kind of late in the film, which has kind of led me to believe, we're not gonna deal with him in this film.
I didn't even know.
Oh no!
I didn't even know.
Time frame alone had to say, okay, we are past the halfway mark. We are closing into the final quarter of this film, and this is the first time we see it, and we see a glimpse of him. And I'm like, we're not dealing with him in this movie.
I tell you, the reason why I was not expecting that was because
you were hopeful.
Usually, too. That too also, and I was being interesting, to be honest with you. Even though I was noticing that, okay, this is running a little bit long, but hey, it's not unheard of for 3-hour movies, whatever, that's fine. they insert that motorball part, which is usually that you tend to do that in the middle of other movies, and they insert that almost at the very end.
No, the motorball was introduced very, very early on.
Well, no, it was no, but the one where she's actually
she's
already
competing.
an expert, she's competing, and that's what I meant.
What was it? Yeah, I
That
got you.
was almost at the very end because after.
Well, she was. That was her first tryout, though. She wasn't an expert. That was her little first tryout, and she thought she was surrounded by people who were trying out with her.
Right.
And they were there.
And they were
just to
trying to kill
act
her.
her.
Yeah, they were trying to kill her. So that was introduced. I mean, that was not the last thing that happened in the movie, but I'm saying that was
Very
introduced
late,
very late in the movie when I thought, more had to happen. And it's funny because my wife, at some point in the movie, when Alita is like looking at the city, which we have never gone, in this movie.
You don't get to see it at all.
And you see the guy, the Nova looking down as if they were seeing each other through the distance. Again, stop me if you haven't seen this before. My wife turns to me and say, "Babe, when is this movie gonna end?"
Are you serious?
I mean, she was enjoying it, but even her was like, "This is running a little long." We're like, when is this movie gonna end? And right there, credits start to roll, and I'm like, right now.
And I knew it too. I the moment I saw it, I was like, as soon as I saw, and I was already like, just in my head, I kind of stopped to go, we're at the end.
Yeah.
This is the end. And I was like, this is not going to bother. It's not going to sit well with him, probably.
I was not, honestly, I thought they were going to wrap everything up.
No.
But that was silly me.
Yeah.
Again, amateur movie viewer, evidently, because I did not realize that so much time has passed already.
Yeah.
It's time to wrap things up.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Well, it's good in the sense that it caught me by surprise. I think a lot of people, I think you were concerned that I was not going to like it at all because it didn't close that chapter.
It didn't have a close,
But to me, it felt like even with that, even knowing that, yes, here we are baiting you into the next, Alita, because of course, Alita Battle Angel 2 is coming out. Not that has to be confirmed, but obviously they were going for that.
Yeah, I'm sure they were going for it.
Because the movie ends in the cliffhanger, basically. You are like, I was not expecting that, but it didn't bother me. It didn't bother me. To me, what happened completely happened. We finally got rid of stupid Hugo, or at least I hoped we did, because I
would assume that he's not coming back. After all that,
hope so.
First of all, it was a ridiculous. Honestly, I would have been okay if he just died the first time.
The first time, yeah.
The fact that they brought him back and they put him into this ridiculous robot body, and I'm just like, this now it got really.
He looks like a walking toaster, as opposed to
exactly
the smooth frames of everybody.
You literally
else.
take the head off a Chappie and you put this on there. You basically got who you have. So yeah, that was ridiculous. What did you think of the reveal of who's playing Nova?
I did not get that reveal of who was playing Nova.
Oh no,
I did not get
Edward
that.
Norton.
Who is Edward Norton?
Oh my God, you don't know who Edward Norton is?
Okay, pause. Is it meant to be? Am I supposed to know because he was a character that I missed in the movie?
No.
Or because of the actor?
The actor.
Oh yeah. Well, remember, actors. I mean, I appreciate actors, but that's him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Edward Norton, yes.
All right. So Edward Norton. Okay, good. No, I did not get that at all. But then again, I wasn't looking into the features of the face to. I
mean, honestly, it happens fairly quick.
Somebody
I was just like, oh my God, what? Edward Norton?
Somebody mentioned it. Yeah. Somebody mentioned that, and I was afraid that, oh shit, did I miss something? Was this someone that she met in the movie or something like that? Like it was supposed to be like,
there
oh my God, that's the dad, or something like that. Yeah. Okay, no, I'm glad. Okay, cool.
It's just the fact that it was an actual well-known, really high-regarded actor who's playing this one. Literally, if you take all the scenes, you may have 2 minutes of footage.
Yeah, you don't
with him.
Not even. So
it's just
every
like,
time he's communicating through
somebody else.
else.
So the other person is actually the one that's communicating.
Yeah. So I think we already established enough that we were not fans of the relationship between Alita and Hugo. It didn't need to happen. The movie would have been fine. Probably would have been better without it. Cheesy lines, aside. Oh, you are the most human person that I've ever known.
Yeah.
You know what that reminds me of, by the way? of that
Twilight?
cheesy. No, well, yes, but also in Star Wars.
Oh God,
not Star Wars.
The Hope line.
Well, no, the other one that I'm a rebel. I rebel.
Oh yes, yes,
something like that.
Yes,
You
that's
know,
pretty bad.
You know what you're talking about? What's the movie?
Oh, Rogue One.
Rogue One. Yeah. Which thank God that was never on the actual movie. That was cut.
actually cut.
Because
Well done.
unfortunately,
And replaced with the Hope line.
and replaced with the Hope line. Yes.
Yes.
Hope. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said about this one, which they leave that cringy thing that you see on the theater on the trailer. It's actually as badly delivered in the actual
exactly
movie.
the same thing, yeah.
But there was this this scene, which is one of the examples that I was mentioning, that was like completely undeserved. Well, so there's this. So at the very beginning of the movie, Alita stumbles with a cute little doggy. It's like a little dog, like a chihuahua. He's like, you know, and she's like, you know, suddenly there's like a, you know, little thing between them. She gives him like her taco or whatever. What the hell was it that she was eating?
Yeah, a little
and,
burrito.
Yeah, burrito or something. I don't know. It was supposed to be charming and it worked, you know, because it's Alita, and then it's a doggy, it's a puppy, yeah. Dude. Tell me, how is it that in this part, and in this fight scene at the bar, which, by the way, bar scene, fight, amazing, absolutely, probably the highlight of the movie to me. You know, that fight scene was stellar. Not the stupid ¿cómo se dice? Discurso. When she starts trying to.
Oh yes, when she starts trying to rally everybody up.
When she's trying to rally all the cyborgs.
That was a little silly as well. And I was just like, really, but you just got your pass. And now you're just commanding the troops.
Again,
and I get it, because it's like, well, she obviously, you know, in her, even though she doesn't remember this, is someone who was used to commanding troops or something like that. So I'm like, okay, fine, I get that, but this still felt weird. You know
I'm glad that you mentioned that, because I wasn't even thinking about that. To me, it sounded silly, but it was meant to be silly.
Yes,
because of course nobody's gonna be like, you know. Although at some point I was dreading that it was gonna come to that at the very end.
I'm glad it didn't.
So anyway,
what was silly is when Dr. Ito walked in with this hammer that he can barely carry.
Let alone move, and everybody's like, stand back.
Oh my God,
ridiculous. So anyway, on this bar scene, she finds the dog. You know, again, like pure coincidence, he was there. She goes into into the bar. There's the bad guy. What's his name? Vector.
No, the Vector's the El Moreno, the black guy.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember.
There's this huge dumb cyborg that is supposed to be like the ultimate assassin machine.
Yes, that's
the worst machine of them all. Because
Karishka.
Yes. That character is supposed to kill Alita. Several chances are given. Several attempts are given to him to do just that. He fails them all, and somehow he's still given opportunities to try to kill her. Even though killing her could have been as easy as, hey, we already know where she lives. She lives right there. She is with her dad. And why not send like an amount, a massive amount of cyborgs to that? But anyway, so the scene was, he ends up. He starts fighting. He stands up above. Everybody's afraid. None of the other cyborgs wanna attack him.
They're afraid, and they're also because he doesn't technically have a bounty right now.
Because he technically doesn't have a bounty. Nobody wants to touch him. Yeah, nobody wants to help Alita. Basically, it's just Alita herself, and the only being brave enough to stand in front of this massive cyborg thing is the little puppy dog that comes up front, of Alita, and starts like, "Arr, arr, 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 arr." And they fucking kill the dog.
Is that what bothered you?
Yes. They didn't bother you? Not only that.
No. Well, I didn't have a connection to the dog yet. You
obviously not a dog lover. A, and B, it was very cruel because it was like the guy was like, oh, seems like the only person brave enough to stand against me, and he goes in, like, extend his hand, and something comes out of his hand and There goes the dog. Now, obviously, they don't show that, because they don't want to have PETA against it, probably. I mean, not that would have happened in reality, but it would have been way too cruel to actually show it. It's not that type of movie.
It was enough to hear it,
but
and
you
to
hear
see the
it,
blood
and you see the blood.
Yeah.
And not only that, but you see in the trailer that part where you see Alita putting like that red ink below her eyes.
So you think, yeah.
Oh, so you think? That's the dog's blood that she's putting in, and super quick also. So you don't even get a chance to mourn the dog when she's already like using him as makeup and going into a fight. And this was supposed to be, and then he punches the floor and he's like, "Oh, meet me in my terms." And then they have a fight there.
An interesting fight at the.
Nobody goes in and helps Alita. Not even Dr. Ito.
Yes. The dog guy.
The dog guy is the only one. I'll take it back. Yes, the dog guy,
played by Jeff Fahey, which I haven't seen in forever.
There is a
yes.
There is like one of the I guess one of the cyber warriors or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
Hunter warriors was cyborg with a bunch of cyborg dogs, and I thought that was hilarious because it's almost like the dogs were taking vengeance for the real dog that this thing had killed, and I thought that was messed up. I thought that was completely unnecessary, and I feel for the dog. So,
well, I'm glad. I'm sorry that
you did not have the feeling for it because you are. That's cruel.
No, it didn't do anything to me. It was not a needed scene, I guess. But
killing a puppy. Why would you do that?
I mean, obviously that pissed her off to try to follow him, and then she gets chopped up, which was really serious.
She gets chopped off, for real.
I was like, wow,
for realsies.
I was expecting like worse things to happen, but she was able to come back on that, even with just one hand, which was pretty badass again.
Yes.
But yeah, it was just like, man, that's serious.
Yeah,
that is serious.
Yeah.
And of course, that forced the hand of Dr. Ito. So I guess I have to put you into this suit because I don't have a body for you anywhere else. So.
Yeah, the suit that she finds, that she knows that, by the way, they know that they're in danger. They know that they're being hunted. And stupid doctor, for some reason, does not want to have her on the real suit. On the real power suit, the one that will give her all the abilities and all that, wants to keep it on the freaking bodysuit that he designed for his daughter. I guess in his eyes, Alita was like the daughter that he lost, and which didn't want to change her.
Which I was going to comment on the thing earlier with them being so really non-reactive to certain things. I was like, well, they already experienced probably the worst thing you can ever experience, which is the loss of a child.
Right.
So pretty much you're already at the bottom of the barrel. Yeah. Not that you couldn't react to something anyway, but and again, I'm pulling at straws here, just trying to fill in some blanks here. Yeah. And it's like, well, and also I feel that because we all know they actually used to exist up in Midgar, as we'll call it. So I think that
Cloud City.
Yeah. When we get to, if we ever get to another sequel to actually see that, I have a feeling we're going to see people who are very just into their own lives, and that's just how they are there. You know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure that's what they brought down, but obviously you don't get that in the movie. And you don't. So
again, it's gonna be like the people that lived on, what was that city, the main city on the Hunger Games, the one where
I don't remember the name, but yeah,
cities,
people who just kind of into their own thing
or war. Exactly. Cities, everybody was living the high life and nobody cared about anything. Let
basically
them have cake.
The same thing. Yeah.
Yep, I can definitely see it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I don't have any other points to bring up other than the fact that, again, I love Alita.
I love Alita. This movie, I mean, I'm glad I watched it. It was still super, super, super very fun. And yeah, if you were to ask me, would you recommend watching it? Well, why not? Especially, do know what you're getting into. Yeah. But you probably know already because you're already listening to this part.
Correct.
So
yeah. I mean, at this point, yeah.
I would love to hear your thoughts. Maybe. If you're gonna put spoilers, comment and put spoilers. Maybe just tag them clearly so that
so everybody knows.
Respect for people that haven't watched the movie.
Interesting facts here. It has a 53 Metacritic score with a high 83 score, low 40.
Low 40. And what's the user score? I bet you it's like in the 80s or 90s.
Probably because the user thing in Rotten Tomatoes are in the 90s. Let me see.
And that is to say that if you're gonna be taking it apart, then yes, this movie can let itself very easily to be taken apart because it's almost like you can see the seams on it.
Yes, you can.
You know, there are the people that you like, you're gonna really like. The people that you don't like, you're really gonna dislike.
User score is 8.5.
8.5. Look at that. 85. Then you might as well.
And then let's take a look real quick at Rotten Tomatoes here.
And I could really truly hope that, obviously you see what appears to be a very clear demise for Hugo,
yes,
which I was glad, honestly.
Yeah, it was no love lost there.
If it was meant to, exactly.
Oh, how about that? Alita literally broke the line and made it to 60%, which makes it a tomato.
Made it a fresh pick. Oh,
right.
Wow.
How about
Okay.
that?
Well,
and then the audience score. So the critic score is at 60% at the moment. Audience score is at 93%. So
I told you.
It's like up there.
You see, because it is an entertaining movie to watch.
It is, yeah.
Even with its flaws, and that's why I kind of wanted to bring the reviews tilt.
Yes,
because
that's a good one.
It'll be something very difficult to quantify. It'll be like, this is broken. Yeah, these characters are not, great, and this thing is broken. this writing.
Oh, yeah.
But at the end of it all, I came out satisfied. I like it,
the heck out
and
of it.
I will watch and wait for for the sequel because I want to know. Now, I do not want a trilogy. I don't think this movie I don't think it will lend itself well for a trilogy. I don't think it's needed, and I feel that that's what they're gonna do. And if that's the case, I mean, I love The Matrix. I don't care about The Matrix Reloaded or renewed or relocated, whatever the hell is the next
Reloaded,
one.
Yeah.
To me, those are non-canon fanfics that somebody wrote.
I like
The
Reloaded.
Matrix started and ended in The Matrix.
With James Cameron, it's hard to tell. He takes passion in his projects. But on top of that, he can bring his passion to the point where we are now getting another 3 Avatar films.
Oh, no.
And it's like, we only have one now.
Yeah, we only have one.
And
so we have to wait 20 years.
I guess so, yeah. So it's difficult to say what's going to end up happening here. Clearly, they left it with, hey, the hopes of we can continue the story.
Yeah.
I don't know how I
think
feel.
It was very clear. I think it was very clear.
It's very clear that the story hasn't ended.
The story hasn't ended, yeah.
But not clear as to are we going to get one, because they haven't greenlit one. They haven't. I guess they're kind of feeling it out.
Yeah. I can say. I mean, I think it's gonna. It feels like the type of movie that should do well on the box office.
Yeah, I wanted to check out Box Office Mojo real quick.
It looks. Here. Yeah. It looks like it should be. It should be a movie. Again, I would like to see the second movie be the end, just wrap it up there and not extend it towards the third one, because
a duology.
Exactly. Yeah. You and I were having a good conversation when we got out of the theater, because you were I think you actually were like, you know what, this could be the only movie, and I feel like it's fine.
Yes,
like it's done. This should be the ending. And I'm like, no, it didn't finish.
No, it did not finish.
It did not finish the story. It will be like, I think my analogy was like, how would you like if Star Wars Empire Strikes Back would have been the last Star Wars?
So I think you're going to be a little disappointed in this. we may not actually see a sequel. So the production budget, which generally does not include marketing, is at $170 million. As of this is from Box Office Mojo. Let me see if I can get a date. I'm looking at it right now, and I think it updates daily. But as of right now, foreign and domestic, so the worldwide is only 137 million. So
but it's still, this is opening. This is still not, and it's still not video. Which, of course, this is what's gonna show off all the home theaters. I have hope. I have not only hopes. I have high hopes. Actually,
I don't know, sir. I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
we'll see. I would love to say that it will happen, but in the end, money talks. Bro.
Yeah, of course. But this movie came out when?
What do you mean? It came out Friday.
Exactly.
No, Thursday, actually.
Thursday. So not even a week. That's like good numbers for a week.
It is not with a budget that high. That's the problem. And then on top of that, we have other movies coming out soon that are going to bump it out of there.
Oh yeah,
so,
of course.
So
we should have spoiler cast on them.
Yes, exactly. All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for tuning in. If you are listening to this and you're in the spoiler section, if you are not in the spoiler section, I hope we said goodbye earlier because I don't think we did.
Nope.
But that's okay.
Jump straight to it.
Take a rest. Okay. Yeah. As always, please go like, subscribe, and share the podcast. And please go to goodgame.tech. Join the conversation there.
Yeah, mandatory.
That's right.
Now.
That's what I'm talking about.
We command you. Please.
Por favor.
Por favor. I beg you.
This is
I'll buy
Mad
you a
Dog
donut.
signing off for this week. Mr. Santos, take us home.
Sir, it breaks my heart. How dare you not care for the life of a cute little puppy?
Sir, the
dog's life
dog
matters,
is
sir.
alive. It does matter. I'm not saying it doesn't.
It's not alive. It is very well dead. You saw the blood. She puts the blood and everything,
and he lives on, or it lives on through her.
Yeah.
Yes, that shit absorbed into the skin, and there you go. His essence is in there somewhere.
So this is the story. It's gonna be the revenge story of the dog.
Yes,
it's no longer
exactly.
Alita. It is
Part 2 will have the cybernetic version of the dog.
of the dog. Oh, we already saw Cyber Dogs.
Yeah,
So
it's happening. I'm
Yes.
tapping.
Arf,
I'm calling
arf.
it now.
Arf.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week.